Nigeria. So the global fund funded by Bill Gates has no locus to collect any data because health is national security and the data is protected under the 1999 Constitution. So they were not supposed to do that in the first place. Now, let's see the history of this data collection. They had approached the association. Then I was the chairman of the Association of Private and Medical Practitioners of Nigeria, Imo State, and we went to a national council, national executive meeting in Aba, and they came there to ask us that they want to collect data from the global fund funded by Bill Gates.
Just a minute, sir. Is it the Bill Gates group that approached, or they approached you through an intermediary?
No, the Bill Gates group was funding an NGO who came to make a presentation at the National Executive Council meeting, telling us they want the data to make yellow pages. Yellow pages, and this was for doctors. And what was this? Yellow pages for doctors, so that they can have a directory where all the doctors are. Now they were asking for a number of things. They were asking for photographs. They were asking for fingerprints with biometric data, and they were asking for location, how many staff, who are the staff, the telephone numbers, and all that. We patiently had them out, and after that, hearing them out, we now told them to excuse us, and they left. And when they left, we now started putting things together. First of all, it would be illegal under medical ethics to have such a directory because called yellow pages, because that will be primarily advertising, which is not allowed ethically. Secondly, they were a foreign agent because they have no right. This is national security. Just like going to the police station, I want to know all the policemen here, all the police stations, where their locations are, their phone numbers, and all that. The Nigerian police will just arrest you for doing that, even asking them. So the same thing is health. Health is under national security and is all protected. If you were to have the information of all the police locations, you can wipe out the police, so they will not get protected. The same thing if you were to know all the locations and telephone numbers of the doctors and the health personnel, you can also wipe the whole health personnel. And what will happen? So we will not have a health system. Then we have to now depend on a foreign health system, which we do not know the consequences. So when we noticed that this was happening, and coincidentally, we now got a message, an SOS message from Benue, that in Moko, a town in Benue, that a pharmacist, a famous pharmacist, was killed by the doctors. So now, that's what was alleged, and so now a group of mercenaries of Boko Haram, they call them, we are now seeking all the doctors to kill them. And the doctors had gone into hiding. So we now...
When did this happen?
This happened that was in 2013, I think. And then we said, wait a minute, how come? They said, no, there was a professional field that the doctor said that the pharmacist was attending to and taking away their patients, and the pharmacist denied it, and all of a sudden they killed they alleged that the doctors killed the pharmacist, and now the pharmacist and their association hired some mercenaries to go and kill the doctor. So we now understood that actually this was a setup, and a well-conspired setup by the people who were talking to us, the Bill Gates organization, and they were using their mercenaries to attack doctors. So we really understood that the people who were talking to us were, even before they got a formal cooperative MOU from us to participate in their program, they were already going to the fields and collecting data, because the doctors didn't know, who in different localities didn't know exactly what this was all about. And then we now realize the plan that they were building up a GPS guided mapping, as they called it, the mapping of all the hospitals and the health professionals, and using the GPS in their phones to be able to track all the doctors and the medical personnel. They have their numbers. So this raised an alarm, and we were able to alert people, and all of a sudden, under the Buhari administration, things seem to have piped down. Now, immediately after Buhari's administration came to an end, they came up again with the so-called third phase of this survey. So this whole new program is what they are on now, to map and target and kill the doctors. This was exactly what they did for the farmers. Bill Gates donated, in quote, 14 million cell phones, which they call the electronic wallets. The idea was that they were going to give 2 billion naira loan or grant to farmers. What the plan, as far as the doctors are concerned, is that the doctors of Nigeria are the people who should, according to their plan, collect the eggs of women, which will now be used for the cloning procedure we call somatic cell nuclear transfer. And this is what I want to explain, what this is all about. Okay. Now, what the West is looking at is that they envisage a new human industry. The new human industry will make it possible to replace organ parts of sick people instead of continuously taking drugs for any medical condition. So what that means is that if you have a heart disease and you go to a doctor, the doctor will could take a sample from that your diseased heart, send it to the biotech companies, which are actually most of them in this category are owned by Bill Gates. They will now clone exactly that heart of that person. And how will they do this? They will take the cell the doctor sent them and remove the nuclear material, that's the nucleus that has all the genetic information. Now they will get the egg of a woman or eggs of women, because they will need several eggs for this. They will remove the nucleus on that egg and then transfer the nucleus from that disease heart into that egg. So that's what we call somatic cell nuclear transfer. So when they transfer it and then they keep it in a culture to grow into a heart, replicating the exact heart of that diseased person. But now that heart will be brand new without disease. They can now send that heart back to the doctor, and they will now implant it into the patient. And of course the person must have paid maybe $2 million or $1 million or whatever the cost involved. But this process of doing this is a manual process. That means making this transfer into the egg of a woman. So the eggs of women could be taken in hundreds just to do one procedure. So they will need about 100 million eggs which will come from 10 million women. So when they looked at the map of the world and saw where on earth can we get up to 10 million women to donate egg, when they looked at Nigeria, it looked very much promising for them. So Nigeria has the population over 250 million people, about that now. But one has to understand, why do they need to kill the doctors? They kill the farmers because they wanted to make sure they eliminate all the seed growers in the country. So when they eliminate the seed growers, the natural seeds will never be available again. And how they did that was very simple. What they did was that they just gave 14 million cell phones to all Nigerian farmers, so they could track those people who were being paid for seeds. So when other farmers go to them, they go to buy seeds, and then they know that this person was being paid for seeds, so he is the one selling the seeds. So they now use the GPS coordinates on these so-called electronic wallets, which are just cell phones, to target all of them and eliminate them. When you eliminate the seed, natural seed growers, there will be no other alternative to the GMO, genetically modified organisms, foods and seeds. So they brought these seeds as improved seeds. The other farmers, they drove them into IDP camps and came to these IDP camps under the different NGOs and international agencies and presented these GMO seeds. So the farmers will now leave, they will temporarily hold their military activities in those areas, so the farmers will go and resettle. When they resettle, they start planting the GMO seeds. Once you plant the GMO seeds that first time, that first seed you get from that your maize, if you eat it, that will be the last you are going to eat. Because if you take the seed from that GMO corn and plant it, it will not grow. The gene that allows replication has been switched off. So you have to go back to the person who produced the initial seed. That is, in this case in Nigeria, it will be Monsanto. They will now use them to reproduce these seeds. So these seeds are what actually makes the agricultural produce to move on. So they are using this technique to eliminate all the natural seed growers. And then when the remaining farmers don't have any other place to get seeds than to go to them, to go to them for that. Now, where do the doctors come in? The doctors come in the fact that when they capture the food security, which they actually have done now, because most of the seed growers have been killed. Just to give you an example, between 2015 and 2018, 37,500 people, victims, were killed by Boko Haram. These were farmers. Then of these 37,500, 32,000, that's 85%, were Muslims. 5,500 were Christians. And in states like Zamfara, 60% of the victims were Hausa, 40% were Fulani. So it became clear that this has nothing to do with Islamic terrorism. It has to do with elimination of all the seed growers. Now they have eliminated the seed growers. Now they're moving into the second phase of their program. Now, when the farmers go to them, we now depend exclusively on the GMOs.
So you mean we now depend on GMOs right now?
Exactly. Because without the GMOs, you cannot really get seeds, unless we are getting seeds from different African countries and some places. Some places in the south, especially southwest, and some parts of southeast, we can still get our own seeds because the Boko Haram have not really infiltrated them. But they are trying to do that. So what is happening now is that they want to move into the next phase. The next phase is whereby they will have total monopoly of the seeds. And then they will tell the farmers, you want us to give you seed? Okay, we can give you seed, but on the premise that you must tell your wife and daughters to go and donate their ovarian egg. eggs.
There's a conditional gift. No?
Conditional gift. Food, that is, if you want food, you have to donate ovarian eggs, the eggs of women. And why do they have to do that? They have to do that because the Western countries need these ovarian eggs for cloning. Nigeria is the only country in the world and in the history of the world which has legalized collection of organs without consent. So your organ, which you own, which is your person, if you go to the hospital, they can collect that organ without your consent, because it states in section, the National Health Act of 2014 and 2015, actually signed in 2015, states that you can actually collect that organ without consent. In section 48 and 51 of the National Health Act 2014 version of it actually states that you can collect that organ without consent. You can collect organ and you can collect the gametes, that is the eggs of women, without consent of the patient.
That's very dangerous.
That's very dangerous, but it was allowed into law. I personally led the doctors' delegation in the National Assembly hearing and the Senate hearing and pointed this out before Iyke before Governor, the main proponent of the law, who was Senator Ifeanyi Okowa then, and then of course Ngige was also, Senator Ngige then was also present at that public hearing. I pointed this out, that you cannot do this under any law, but they overruled the public hearing, and Senator Ikweremadu, who was the person who was conducting the public hearing, did not heed to all the calls by all the people present. And what happened? They passed the law with this defect. So all the people who are waiting to harvest organs, harvest eggs, are all in Nigeria. They are setting up their different NGOs. Can you explain why there is a multiplicity of NGOs in the Northeast, where there is a conflict going on?
Okay. Doc, I will come back to this. But what I want to ask now, why is the gate focused on Nigerian doctors?
Yes.
Can you address that?
Because he now wants to harvest these eggs, and doctors are the people going to harvest these eggs. These are going to be in hospitals, but Nigerian doctors, he knows, because of our high moral standard, and I must say very high moral standard, our doctors will not do that, because our doctors know that if you keep on harvesting those eggs in those women 2 to 3 years later, they will die. They will die of liver failure, kidney failure, infections, some other complications. So we know that that's going to happen. So we're not going to do that. And when he called us, and I must say, I was physically present when Bill Gates called us through the General Electric, who he awarded the contract to build 260 hospitals in Nigeria, so that it will be at least his hospitals that will be harvesting these organs and harvesting these eggs. So he will now take us out of the health sector. He invited the leaders in the private health sector and said, okay, look, I'm ready to offer you money to leave the healthcare sector. We told him before the executives of GE that he is mad and insane to demand such a thing.
To leave medical practice.
That we should leave medical practice. And then he will pay us, no matter the amount of dollars we ask for. So we said, you are mad. We are not going to do that, and to hell with you.
Is that really?
We told him off before the executives of, I was personally present. The lab people, the president and secretaries of the lab, National Organization of the Laboratory Scientists was there. The president and secretary of the community pharmacists was there. And we told him to his face, to his presence, because they were talking on, it was a telecom conference, and then the executives of General Electric were there at the headquarters in Abuja. So we told him off that you cannot do that. Even with all your money and all your thing, it's not going to be possible. Now, since we rejected that offer, he has moved to his second option. Eliminate, kill all these doctors, and then take over the health care. And he told us they have already taken off the whole government hospitals. They bought the federal medical centers, they bought the university teaching hospitals. So what is remaining now is for us to get out of business so he can carry out. So these hospitals will become places where foreigners can get organs. It will become places where he will harvest the ovarian eggs, and it will become a killing house for ordinary Nigerians. This is why this is dangerous, and this is why this country must, not just to stop it, not just to ban GMOs, we must call for an international inquiry in which Bill Gates will be brought before the courts of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice. We must bring it the same way Nuremberg trial was done during the Nazi Germany.
Now, our security agencies are aware of this thing that is playing out?
Yes, we have actually written to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's the Chief Security Officer of the country. And of course, all the other agencies, both police, army, and all the also have our submission to the president. And the National Assembly has been well informed, the senators and then the House members have been informed about.
All right, this development is something that we're going to play out tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to use it. I hope they're not going to withdraw it again like they normally do. But it's something that we're going to talk about seriously tomorrow. I don't know Bill Gates. I don't know what one be. Oh no, he's not a doctor. I don't know what is it. You know, this money makes people crazy. The man gets so much. He has so much money. He doesn't know what to do with it. This is a very interesting program, and it's something that, like I said before, tomorrow we're going to sit on it and listen to it from the beginning to the end. It's an interview that I need us to listen and then see where we are, the scope of things. Now there's writing to the Chief Security Officer who is supposed to be Bola Tinubu, the president. Well, okay, we shall see. But tomorrow, definitely tomorrow we'll sit on it and see what comes out of what we are saying, because we know very well that if they don't know what to do, something more serious, sinister is coming to this, and it's something that's going to affect each and every one of us indirectly or directly. All right, there's this program that I watched yesterday on Newsbreed about was it by Edwin Clark writing to Tinubu about the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the rest of them. And I watched it, and what I want to watch about it is that there is somebody there trying to defend. He's a Yoruba person. Just listen to this. This is very interesting because the man is so biased. He's not seeing anything good. When Clark is fighting for the Igbo, who told him he has the right to fight for the Igbo? The Igbo can, hypocrites. The Igbos can fight for themselves, and he's doing what he's doing because I think somebody is removed. I don't know who that is, but I want you to listen to this and talk about it.
Welcome back to Newsday. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now let's take a look at some matters from here at home in Nigeria, as the elder statesman Edwin Clark has urged President Bola Tinubu to urgently implement the 2014 National Conference, asking him to ensure the reintegration of the Igbo in the socio-political sphere of the country. The former Federal Commissioner of Information also asked the president to release the leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Clark made the calls in an open letter to President Tinubu with references on the need to restructure the country and reintegrate the Igbo. While decrying the winner-takes-all attitude in the country, Clark said no region has monopoly of power or ruling the country, as some believe. Well, Arise analyst Dayo Shobole joins us now to discuss the call for the reintegration of Igbo into Nigeria's mainstream politics and how that could be achieved. Good afternoon, Mr. Shobole. Warm welcome to Newsday.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being here as usual.
All right. right, well, let's get straight into it. Several calls and suggestions made by Pa Edwin Clark. One of those, of course, is the release of Nnamdi Kanu and his sentiment that Nnamdi Kanu, that release can be significant for a new era of Nigerian politics. I call it Pan-African Nigerian politics. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Pa Clark is very mischievous. Old man, he's a highly respected Nigerian. And you see, he's getting more Catholic than the Pope. He's calling for the Igbos to be reintegrated. The Igbos ask him to call on their behalf. It's an insult to the Igbos. Even the Igbo mentality and achievement and courage in this Nigeria, nobody, not especially from the Soul area, should be calling for the.
I want you to listen to this hypocrite. Just listen to it very, very attentively, because he's behaving as if he's a friend to the Igbo people. But you will see, I wish you're watching this video, you will see his demeanor and everything about him. Why should anybody even talk to Tinubu? Let's listen to this. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Mentality and achievement and courage in this Nigeria, nobody, not especially from the Soul area, should be calling for the reintegration of the Igbos. To explain that,
more especially from his own area. In other words, he's talking about our brothers in the riverine area, because they organized them and took them out. Now somebody from there is now talking about regrets. 97 years old man. He doesn't have to go to the grave with this mentality. Now he's telling, oh, people from your area, why should it be you that would defend the Igbos?
We'll have to go into history. But let me put it on the table first and foremost, that it is a selfish call. It is somebody crying wolf where there is none, and trying to create problem where there is none. So, let's start from there.
Rightfully so. Some will say rightfully so. It's justifiable because we had this. We had this
justified
cry.
What?
No, some will say it's justifiable because we had this cry before the elections. So it's not anything new, because there were talks about the what they call it, the zoning of the presidency should actually go to the southeast, not just the south, but the southeast.
We are talking of the larger political issue. What brought Pa Clark on board is the sacking of Arase. Go and read the brief. The sacking of Arase, Chairman Police Service Commission. He doesn't like that. And it's linking that to so many, including reconstruction and all that. There is no part of Nigeria that does not feel marginalized in the setup, given the vastness, the size, the ethnicity, and the number of languages and groups in Nigeria. Don't forget, Nigeria was amalgamated by the British in 1914. Nobody sought such amalgamation, and we were trying to live within it all along. So, yes, the Igbos felt so marginalized. That's why they went to war. They were the bravest of the lot then to take on the Nigerian might, and then they were brought back. And then Gawan did reconstruction, reconciliation, rehabilitation. And the Igbos, look, my friend, let him not hold brief for the Igbos. The Igbos are they are the most competitive race in this nation.
You're a hypocrite.
But for the fact that the Civil War held them back.
Yes.
You get me? I mean, there's no limit to what they could have achieved.
Well,
I'm a Yoruba man. I feel marginalized.
No, politically, they've been ostracized. Some would say politically they've not gotten their due share on the table. They've not had their voice echoed through.
That's a fallacy, and this is a visual problem. It's a visual problem.
No.
How many states do the Igbos have in Nigeria? That's right. The Igbos, Abuja, who has more property in Abuja than the Igbos.
Did you give it to
even Lagos, my friend, don't talk of marginalization in a vacuum. Even here in Lagos, during the last election,
Yeah, we saw how Igbos were attacked. They were singled out and attacked.
Let's start Obi defeated Tinubu Lagos. That's marginalization.
No, but they've been singled out in time past and they've been attacked here in Lagos.
Let not Baba Clark.
Yes.
People sentiment for you who do not know history to get excited.
No, to correct that question, I do know history.
Did you know why? Did you know when after the Civil War?
Yes.
After the first coup of '66.
Yes.
And then the counter coup in July. You get me? And Ojukwu started the war. What did the first thing? What was the first thing Gawan did? It was to create states so that they will not follow. And Papa Clark is part of that state. I mean, his own area, Rivers, came out of that. You see, it's a case of, and I tell you that bluntly now, it's a case of the tail wagging the dog. You get me? For Papa Clark to be talking on behalf of the Igbos for integration.
No, but the point is, you might question the foundation of this particular argument, but we cannot take away the fact that this is an age-old discussion that has lingered all through, and it was played up heavily in the 2023 elections.
It does not affect only the Igbos. The Yorubas feel marginalized. There is no.
No, but the Yorubas cannot claim to have been marginalized as much as the Igbos, because they say that the Yorubas have had a president for 8 years. Because they fight the Civil War. Look, my friend. No, we're talking about post-Civil War.
Papa Clark is trying to whip up ethnic sentiment, and you have bought into it.
No, I'm not bought into it. Have we had
I say very clearly for what it is. No way.
Allow me to interject.
It's because of Arase that is trying to turn the place upside down. I disagree.
Okay, Mr. Shobole.
Yes.
One of his points is that the creation of IPOB was as a result of a vacuum of Igbos in mainstream politics. What's your take on that?
I will answer that very bluntly. You get me? IPOB is a distraction. You get me? To the integration or to the courage of the Igbos to be Nigerians. Before the Civil War, there was reconciliation. The injustice still continued, but they tried. The politics everywhere. And I to knock it home to people in Lagos. There will be one in Lagos, defeated Tinubu in Lagos. So what is the big deal? Where is the marginalization? And I'm telling you, see, what Papa Clark has done this time, it's not only because of Farase, but to wait for other sentiments, wrongful than the beliefs. That is my own. And I had again, the tail should not be wagging the dog. It is the dog, that is the Igbo dog that should be wagging the tail, trying to wag it down.
So the point is this. My own question to you is very simple. You cannot say because.
What's your question?
No, let me establish it now. You cannot say because you understand the premise in which Papa Clark is coming from that you decide to disregard the message. And the message is simple.
I don't buy the premise, the logical.
Yes.
I don't buy the. I say.
No, you might not buy the premise. No, but you might not buy the premise. But the message is still simple. The message has been sacred over the years, and it was played up heavily. Now you mentioned Lagos. Now permit me now. Now permit me now. You mentioned Lagos in the 2023 general elections. That Peter Obi won Lagos State.
Yes.
Because they have a sizable number of Igbos in Lagos. But in the state elections, you and I know this, the complete opposite was the case, because people were attacked, people were killed.
You are an apostle of Papa Clark. What is waving?
No, I'm not an apostle.
Now is reintegration of the Igbos. I say that is an extravagant call. The Igbos can fight their own battle, and I think it is an insult as at this point in time to say that the Igbos need reintegration. And then on the IPOB, sorry, you forgot the IPOB. On the IPOB, it's a distraction. It is the distraction, and I repeat it. Nigeria, if the IPOB leader, if indeed he is a leader, if he wants to be integrated into Nigeria, let him withdraw secession against the Nigerian state. You cannot have a state within.
From here at home in Nigeria,
I want you to listen to this idiot. You see, the bias is coming out. They're pushing it out of him. Number one, Clark is not supposed to talk. 97 years old man. Probably the man is derailed. He doesn't know what's they are the people that created the states. Then at last, IPOB is a distraction. If the leader of IPOB wants, he should renounce secession. Whoever you are, I don't know who you are, but you are an idiot. I listened to this yesterday. I'm like, Yoruba man. Look at him, he's so biased. He's not even paying attention. I don't know who the other fellow is on the program. I don't even know who they are, but he is the main person that they brought in. Without the other man there, I don't know where we would have gone to, honestly. I don't know.
Well, first and foremost, that it is a selfish God. It is somebody crying wolf, where there is none, and trying to create problem. Yeah, there is none. So, let's start from that.
Rightfully so. Some say rightfully so. It's justifiable because we had this. We had this
justified
crime.
What?
No, some will say it's justifiable because we had this crime before the elections. So it's not anything new because there were talks about the the zoning of the presidency should actually go to the southeast, not just the south, but the southeast.
We are talking of the larger political issue.
Yes,
what brought Biafra Clark on board is the sacking of Alozie. Go and read the brief. The sacking of Alozie, Chairman Police Service Commission. He doesn't like that. And it's linking that to so many, including reconstruction and all that. There is no part of Nigeria that does not feel marginalized in the setup. Given the vastness, the size, the ethnicity, and the number of languages and groups in Nigeria. Don't forget Nigeria was amalgamated by the British in 1914. Nobody sought such amalgamation. And we were trying to live within it all along. So,
others.
Yes, the Igbos felt so marginalized, that's why they went to war. They were the bravest of the lot then to take on the Nigerian might, and then they were brought back. And then Gawan did reconstruction, reconciliation, rehabilitation. On the IPOB, sorry, you forgot the IPOB instruction. And I repeat it. Nigeria, if the IPOB leader, if indeed he is a leader, if he wants to be integrated into Nigeria, let him withdraw secession against the Nigerian state. You cannot have a state within a state. That is the look, he has court orders which the government has not obeyed. Let that be settled in the court. That is the rule of law. For somebody to say because his countryman was removed from a federal post and then he will try to provoke the Igbos into trying to do what they are not ready for.
Before the president came into power, there were talks about restructuring, and that formed a nucleus of the campaigns that were being pushed out. And some people queried, and some people said they were only paying lip service to that. That as soon as they get into government, that the talk about restructuring will be jettisoned. And 1 year into office, we've not heard anything concerning restructuring.
And let me tell you, if you know the history of restructuring, I was a columnist before. I have always written that those asking for restructuring are asking for a confederation, but they don't have the guts to say that.
What's wrong with it?
Biafra Clark is one of them. They believe it. What they are trying to say is that there's unfairness in the country.
Yes.
There's unfairness in the allocation of seats. There are so many things. Things hooked to the census, and so many other institutional changes that we have to put in place. But you cannot wake up one day, and because one particular person was removed from a federal office,
you have to prove
the Igbos into rebellion again. No way. The Igbos are bigger.
A lot of people have said revert back to the recommendations of the 2040 confab.
They have always said that. But I have always said too that no government will get into power and preside over its own liquidation. You get me? Because it means you will sit in power. And the people saying restructuring, they are not a confederation because they will be accused of treasonable felony. Can't you get it?
Mr. Shobwale, Nnamdi Kanu, still a big issue on the table. Of course, we've heard Edwin Clark's proposition. He's joining the chorus that's saying that he should be released, he should be pardoned. We should
I don't buy that
issue. Why is this not a way to move forward?
How can it be a way to move forward? When Ojukwu did the rebellion, he was brought back. That's right. You see, does he have as much weight as Ojukwu amongst the Igbos? Please. You see, even in the Yoruba nation, we have some people saying certain things which most of us don't even count tenants. I think POBs in that scenario. Most Igbos are law-abiding people. Let's look at the governors. Are they not Nigerians? Are they not Igbos? They are trying to counter him in their own way. You get me? In spite of underlying current of blood is thicker than water, which is not peculiar to this. That is why even the insecurity in the north are not talking about that. It's because of this empathy.
No, but speaking of the north,
for the enemy.
The president of Miati,
can't you see that?
Bello Bodejo of Miatiala was released.
Yes.
Yes. So why
Miatiala?
Yes.
Are they in the same boat?
Well, technically,
and you said they should release the upstart Yoruba leader too, that I even don't know the name, and I'm a Yoruba person. Please. Don't blow issues out of proportion.
Sunday Igbo now. If you trying to be chicken.
No way. I don't know him.
No, but people,
I've said that before.
People.
Yorubas are proud to be. The Igbos are proud to be.
Now the truth is this: people.
And you better know
when people talk about this particular subject now.
Which one now?
Now they talk about integration and also.
You are talking of this now.
Now permit me. No, hold on. So hold on. Where I'm going to is this.
Yes.
When people talk about this particular subject.
Which subject now?
The subject about reintegration now. And now permit me to go somewhere now.
Yes.
What I'm saying to you is this. It's very simple. We've seen people that have taken up arms against the state.
Yes.
People that have killed people, fellow Nigerians.
They have rampant in the north.
Yes, and they've been pardoned. And the question is, what Nnamdi Kanu has done? Nobody's holding brief for him. But what some are saying that what Nnamdi Kanu has done, and those that have taken up arms against the state.
How many people who took up arms against the Nigerian state have been pardoned? Besides Ojukwu.
I'm talking about those in the north that those bandits. As they've been called, those bandits and those Boko Haram, ex-Boko Haram people that have decided.
Your final thoughts, Mr. Shobwale, before we go.
My final thoughts, yes. That you see, Bafakla has flown a kite that will get lost, will not land. Because the Igbos don't need the solicitation to be part of Nigeria. They are man enough to fight their own battles. Sam?
All right. Mr. Dayo Shobwale, thank you so much for your input, for that heated conversation.
I tell you, Yoruba man, I don't know where he came from. He has no point at all. I listened to this yesterday. I was like, oh my God. But you know something? No matter what they do, they are wasting their time. They are wasting their time and their energy. They're holding back the hands of time, because if they think that the clock is going to stop where they are holding it, no. The moment they take their hands off, the clock is going to move, and we'll keep on moving until we get Biafra. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that any of them can do. Honestly, they don't have the power to stop what we are doing, and we know that they don't, and they know that they don't. It's just that they don't know how to give up. Well, they'll be forced to give up whether they like it or not. Biafra for us is a welcome something, and it's going to happen whether they like it or they don't like it. It does not really matter to us. This is Radio Biafra. The lines are open. If you have anything to talk about, call us.
We are Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. You are welcome to land of rising sun. There is a land that is full of natural resources.
All right, the lines are open at +1-845-907-2230. +1-845-648-0031. +1-845-637-6632.
Mama and Papa can go see the French because anywhere you from, around the world. Because you are welcome. Welcome to Biafra. It's over no evil. Everybody see you are welcome. gosirani nosikwenye na karaka ifo bona jere boganiru anyị baro wagari chukwu kikete maka nijete na faya keje butike mbano bia kele no mama papa bia funi faji bili biko bia kele no anywhere you from around the world mbano bia kele no. Mbano bia kelele mama papa can go see the French village because bia kelele anywhere you from around the world mbano bia kelele come and see who we are because bia kelele ndemboa bia no bia kelele you are welcome yama mine jeje yama welcome to Biafra yama mina la la yama isobodo yipo yama mine jeje ever been a see you ever been a la la Sirani, no se puede na karaka. Ifo bona jere boganiru, boganiru ni baro wagari. Chukwu kikabia makani jeje, na faya keje butike. Mbano bia kele no, mama papa bia funi faji bili. Biko bia kele no, anywhere you from around the world. Mbano bia kele no, come and see who we are. Bia kele no, ndemboa, bia kele. You are welcome, yama mine jeje yama. Welcome to Biafra, mina la la yama. Biafra bukwa bodo yama, jeje yama. Ebo bone sing you are welcome, mina la la yama. Quality education, we can be partners. If you're ready for innovation, Makanina, Iyke for 90 times. Obodo chukwu kwere anyị na nkwa, ka ndị rofuru webarewa. Chukwu kike gọziri anyị, gọzikwa anyị na karaka. Ifo bona jere boganiru, boganiru anyị baro wagari. Chukwu kike bia maka anyị jeje, na faya keje butike. Mbano bia kele no, mama papa bia funi faji bili. Biko bia kele no, anywhere you from around the world. Mbano bia kele no, come and see who we are. Bia kele no, ndemboa, bia kele. You are welcome, yama mine jeje yama. Welcome to Biafra, mina la la yama. Biafra bukwa bodo yama, jeje yama. Ebo bone sing you are welcome, mina la la yama. Quality education, we can be partners. If you're ready for innovation, Makanina, Iyke for 90 talented, need to be better. If you invest in Biafra land, Mbano bia kele no, mama papa bia funi faji bili. Biko bia kele no, anywhere you from around the world. Mbano bia kele no, come and see who we are. Bia kele no. You are welcome, yama mine jeje yama. Welcome to Biafra, mina la la yama. Biafra bukwa bodo yama, jeje
That's why. All we want is freedom. The radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station. You're listening to this is Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra.
USA 2. Call us. The lines are still open for you to make your calls. 845-907-2230.
When I pray, I have a God that answers. You are who you are, yes you are.
845-637-6632.
When I seek you, me I know where I will find you. You have never left me alone. When I ask, me I know that you will do what no man can never do for me. When I know you go open your heart, you open Jehovah Jireh, I love our power and issue. Jehovah Nissi, I love it, Tirel and issue. I connect him by your love, Bully Womelu. Onye Keruba, your love, I don't wanna miss you. When I pray, I have a God in there. Have a God in there. You are who you are, yes you are. When I seek you, you know where I can find. Know where I can find you. You never left me alone. When I ask, me I know that you will do. Know that you will do what no man can never do for me. Yeah. When I know you go open your heart, open your heart, your doors to let me. Jehovah Jireh, I love our power, Jehovah Yahweh, I love it, Tirel and Issue. I couldn't take I love it, Bully Womelu. Onye Keruba, I love it, Tirel and Issue. When I cry, you wipe away my tears. You have filled my mouth with laughter. When I'm weak, you strengthen me. I'm mounting up with wings like eagle. When I'm down, you lifted me. You're the glory and the lifter of my head. Jehovah Jireh, I love our power and Onye Keruba, I love it, Tirel and Issue. Mama Keruba, I love our power and Issue. I couldn't temper, I love it, Tirel and Issue. Abasimi, no one is like you, Lord. No one compares to you. Hey, I've searched all over the world, I found nobody. Jehovah
And the Lord is very beautiful, and that's what he's saying. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We are still taking calls at 845-907-2230. I have a call coming in. Let me take this one. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Daddy, good afternoon, sir.
There, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Daddy, see your boy, your son, Mazi calling from the city of Girona, Spain. I people Catalonia. This is the second born of Mazi Namdekan. Daddy, I thank you so much. I thank all of you guys that are doing the need for this Alozie platform. Daddy, our team from Australia they did not come today.
The what?
Our team from Australia, they did not come online today, right?
They didn't come, no. They were not online.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Just like what we are saying about our leaders' court case. Just like what you said earlier about this special counsel. Now, This is a man that Mike also came a fan, and our barrister, Ifeanyi Edimofo, they have done everything. They have done the needful. They have gotten IPOB the victory. The sergeant acquitted. Which the law says that no other court cannot stand any trial in any other court again in the zoo. But this man, you want to answer the lead counsel. I don't know how they convinced Onyendu, taking him to court again. You want to answer the lead counsel. Now, who be a no now? But that one is apart. That's the place. This you are in the US, sir. This brigade and all these things in Spain in Africa, most especially in the zoo. So why is the world not laying hands on this man? Is he working with them, or why can't they arrest this man?
Well, don't forget that whatever he's doing it outside United States. He cannot do that in America. He'll be arrested. But he's doing it the country, the way he's doing it, they are the ones that are supposed to arrest him. But they will not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of course.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Mm-hmm. I see.
He's not committed any crime as far as United States is concerned. So he takes it to Africa and takes it to Nigeria. They are looking at him because we are people who always, how would I put it, who always try to justify, or not justify, try to go with anything that anybody does, because it's a lawless place. Yesterday, it's a lawless country. That's where we are.
Just imagine. So Jagaban came to power because of all this nonsense. Nothing more. He don't even care about the people he's leading.
Of course.
Just to make sure he sits on us to answer the president, nothing more. Look at his son Sheyi. That one now is moving to not less than over 1,000 security. Guiding one idiot, one riffraff.
All those is what I want.
Daddy, thank you very much. God bless you, sir.
God bless you so much. All right. 1 million people can be guiding one person. But you know something? The person goes to bed, he doesn't wake up in the morning. So what would that be? I read a story about a king who was so afraid of his life that he had tanks and ammunitions and warplanes and everything hovering around when he was sleeping, making sure that he doesn't die. And in the morning they went in to wake him up and they found out that he was dead. All the military men and all the helicopters and everything will go. So forget about it. It doesn't, like me, I'm holding her once go, because nobody knows when the day comes. There is nothing you're going to do about it. Nobody can stop it. Can have all the security in this world guiding you, doesn't mean anything. You go there and then your little heart will stop beating and you wake up dead. So not that you wake up dead, because you can't wake up when you are dead. You end up dying, and nothing about it, nothing that anybody can do to save that. So about Bill Gates, I told you already that he's committing, whatever crime he commits, he's doing outside United States, and United States America will not go to Nigeria to tell them that what this man is doing is criminal. That's what he's using his money for, and if he tries it in this country, definitely he won't. He will go to jail. They will take him in. So my lines are still open for you guys. If anybody wants to make any call, please do so. And they're talking about second row, putting Tinubu on the second row of a country that he goes to, that the protocol should be blamed. Listen to me. Don't blame no protocol. Tell Tinubu to stop going around. Don't go to these places, because these people, you don't have a good reputation. You think they are forgotten? They have not. Even if they put you in the front row, I need to me. You know, there was this come on gate advert. But you sue me. This sue me is that if you idiot. You think that nobody knows your crime? No, of course people do. They know your record. I'm not judging you, but I'm only saying that those who live in glass houses don't throw stones. Don't come down there and start making a fool of yourself. Because I heard one musician, I don't want to call their name, condemning the other musicians that they have failed. But they say, oh, these musicians have failed. Oh, he's somebody who is making young children gamble. He's reducing gambling. Meanwhile, come to judgment. When you look at the world, it's so funny. So the likes of Tinubu, the best way to, hide yourself so they can forget you. You are not going out there to achieve anything for Nigeria, to be honest with you. So they might regret, putting you on the back seat or anything, and somebody losing his job because of that. No. The best thing you can do is don't even go. Just decide on the last minute you are not going, and that's it. Nobody will question you. Send your deputy, send somebody else to go. The embarrassment can be on that person. It doesn't matter. But if you go there, you will always face this kind of embarrassment. There's no doubt about it, because you have no respect for you. You know that.
If you
Okay, so they took it out of our mouth. That's those pictures right there. Lada Akonde joins us this morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning.
So that image has circulated about the president in South Africa when the Mr. Ramaphosa had passed, after shaking those in front row, and the President Tinubu was behind, and they didn't see any exchange. That's what a lot of people saw. But up until, maybe later yesterday and just now, for those who may have seen that, those images which we eventually saw him. But that, of course, when you see that one, anybody will be concerned.
Exactly. Well, so I think the first thing that we need to say here is that there has been, and this is not the first time, there has been a failure of the protocol team around the presidency, and I've seen this over times, and when we were there, I raised this issue several times. Now look, in a gathering of African presidents, there is no way that you sit the Nigerian president at the back. No way at all. If it's Africa, there's no way you're going to dice the ranking of importance in this continent, that Nigeria should not find a seat on the front row. And so this is a failure of the Nigerian embassy officials in South Africa. This is a failure of the protocol team around the president. Somebody should have put their foot down as to where the president is going to sit, as to how the president will be received. This has not happened. Now, some people have also said that maybe the president himself is the reason for it, because right now we don't have a substantive ambassador in South Africa. And in diplomatic matters, there are times when, if you don't have an ambassador, it limits your access. It limits your bragging right. Now, I don't know whether that's exactly what happened here, but clearly, they cannot continue to treat the Nigerian president this way.
A couple of things. First, for the protocol officers, while you were there, what reason do they always give when this kind of things happen?
Well, so the conclusion of the matter is just in my view, and there are very distinguished people who work in our protocol. We have the history, but in my view, it's always been just the mediocrity of some of the protocol officers. It's just mediocrity. they don't understand how they needed to project the Nigerian influence. And of course, there are also issues about the way we are perceived, but regardless of the way we are perceived, regardless of our political situation at the time, in a country like South Africa, look, Nigerian money, played a significant role in the liberation of South Africa. Clearly, we are outspending the Americans in the fight for liberation of South Africa. So we should never get to a situation in South Africa where our president will be relegated to the backseat. But our protocol officers need also to understand that, and they need to understand how they need to put their foot down. Somebody should have said, Mr. President is not going to come if that is where he's going to sit. That's what you need to do.
No, following up with that one too. Even if we don't have a substantive ambassador yet in SA,
right?
And then the president, they reached out to him. He confirmed he was going to be there. At the point that it was confirmed he was going to be there, someone should have kicked him. A team should have been said, look,
where is this sitting, right?
Exactly. Where is the president from there?
Yeah, I mean, so the president normally wouldn't even know where he's going to sit, because he has a team. So there are embassy officials in South Africa, and there's also a protocol team in his advanced team and in his main party.
Exactly.
We pay attention to these things. That those are the people that I think have to answer this question and to ensure that this kind of thing does not happen, because they would have known it's part of their own schedule.
In fact, let me jump in and say,
the point is that you people are just beating about. Now they want to get somebody as a scapegoat. The protocol. When a president does not have a reputation, why don't you people just tell yourself the truth? He does not have to go. Nobody said he should go. Why should he go? So say what didn't happen. That president that you have there needs to be in office and change things around. And change the reputation of the country, change his own personal reputation before he thinks of going out to this stuff. We can only deceive on ourselves. Nigeria is not the Nigeria that you know. The country is finished. Tell yourself the truth for once, for God's sake, and stop lying to yourself. You think you're still that giant of Africa that you used to be? No! You need to rebuild that giant. That giant don't pafuka, in leg don't break, in wings don't crack. So what you need to do is to rebuild that giant before he can get up and learn to walk again. Because his legs are all messed up. So when he wakes up and knows how to walk, now you can start talking. Lift your head up. How can you go and stand before these people that know you are a drug dealer? You have an issue. Even if I'm not saying you are a drug dealer, but that's what you are alleged to have done. Okay. So why would you go there and want to raise your head? These people, they know you. Which other insult would you need in Africa? The giant is behind. They put them behind. Thank God that even the man shook hands, because originally what we saw, that even somebody did something, I don't know if that's AI or whether it's real, for Barack Obama, saying that putting him there means a lot. Ignoring him, and he was there clapping when the man. But later on, they showed us something that showed that he actually went to him, and that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let this man stop raising his hand and say, I'm the giant of Africa. You are not. You are not. You are simply not the giant that you think you are. The giant of Africa, we will know the legs have been knocked off. If he was flying, the eagle's wings have been broken. He can't fly anymore. He has to grow new wings. And that means time. That means you staying a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years, build up the image again. Not of yourself, I'm talking about the country. And they will say, we mistaked about this man. Oh. This man is not as bad as we thought he was going to be. Look at what he has achieved. Now they can now rub shoulders with you. Because anywhere you go, even if you go to the smallest African country today, they have no respect for you. They have no respect for you. I know that. So all this question of looking for a scapegoat, the protocol that could have done it, they could have known, they could have asked where the president is going to stay and all that. If the president has a reputation, why do you have to care where he's going to stay? There is no way they're going to put him in the back if he was the real giant of Africa. You going to ask means you already know that there must be something wrong somewhere. So let's not go there and start firing some people who are trying to get money to feed their family. by saying it is the fault of the protocol. It is not. It is the fault of your president. It is the fault of your country. It's the fault of the way your country has kept itself. So let's keep listening.
Let's know this, because they've talked to you too on this matter. These foreign emissaries, ambassadors, all of them, when they want to do an interview, they will tell you, no.
Absolutely.
They won't answer this question.
Absolutely.
They won't answer this. The viewers don't know those parts.
Even the location of the camera,
they will answer this question.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you are trying to do something, no, they can come in and rearrange the cameras. They do all of those things. So we shouldn't be shying away from this kind of things.
Absolutely.
Well, why should we?
Absolutely. We shouldn't be shying away from it. And it's important that we make the point that, look, this should be the last time that they will treat the Nigerian president the way they treated President Tinubu in South Africa. I don't think that Ramaphosa ignored him. I think he actually gave like a hand greeting, across, which the camera did not pick. But the very idea of President Tinubu representing Nigeria, taking a second row seat, is completely unacceptable. I mean, it is big enough for the president not to go. If that is all,
so the picture we showed, in the opening,
right?
Maybe could that have why?
You said something here very remarkable. The president should not go. He should not be going anywhere now. Make him clean up himself now. You can't go out there and embarrass yourself, because these people, the president standing there, all of them in their mind, you not see this one, this president be this one. You need time, not 1 year. That reputation has been so messed up that 1 year or even 2 years will not clean it. I'm not talking about cleaning up your personal reputation alone, but cleaning up the reputation of Nigeria itself as a country. When you go there, you clean yourself up. Now you can go there and rub shoulders with them. Because these are men that have felt, even though they might be as corrupt as you, but at least nobody don't catch them all. They have not been caught. They might be as bad, even worse than you, but unfortunately, your own death is in the public domain. So when you look at things like this, all the President Tinubu needs right now is to clean up his image. Clean up the image of the country especially. His own personal image is not even something. He is the one that can clean up the image of the country because of the position he is. But don't go and start rubbing shoulders with all these people who call themselves presidents, because you are not worse than them. But the truth is that they never catch them now. Nobody don't ever catch them. So they are innocent as long as we are concerned. No matter how corrupt, no matter how bad, no matter their reputation, they have an edge over you because you have been brought up as somebody who is a criminal, who is somebody who has done worse things than anybody has ever done in the world, even though it's not true. But the point is that you are the one that they have caught. You are the one that have wanted. So what you need to do is sit down behind your ass. If there is any way they are going, send somebody to go. Buhari, how many times did Buhari come out safe? He doesn't go anywhere. Go see who. So you don't do the same thing. Sit down in your ass, in your tiny ass rock, or even for Lagos, wherever you want to stay. Anything happens, send somebody. Let somebody go and represent you, please. That person can take the disgrace, the insult, and everything, but nobody says that you have to go. Even though you might send your deputy, which is Agbada, he can go there and take the disgrace. It does not really matter to anybody. Because that is what is expected. Not until you have cleaned up the reputation of your country and make it look like a country. You should stop traveling. Not go anywhere.
Out or made up, if we could use those words, for maybe his positioning where he sat. Because much later you saw both of them just going there to shake, and then there were several other images.
There were images where we're shown how the president of South Africa went to visit President Tinubu in his hotel. Was that an attempt to make up?
Yes, of course.
Well, we wouldn't know. Normally, they will have, depending on the timing of how much time President Tinubu wanted to stay in South Africa. Normally, after an event like this, the host president will try to have a little bit of interaction with the other foreign leaders. So that is normally in the scheme of things, except,
normally in the scheme of things, well, usually it will be that the visiting president will be received by the host president in their own villa.
Exactly.
Isn't that correct? I mean, so this show of the president of South Africa going to the hotel where President Tinubu is staying at to visit him, was that an attempt to make up and to say, oh, we don't hold Nigeria in such low regard? Oh, what precisely do you think is the reason for that?
It's not impossible that is the case, but I've also witnessed instances where at such inaugurations, you will find the host president going to meet or visiting heads of states in their hotels. I've seen that happen in the past. But it's not impossible that maybe somebody then put their feet down and then he chose to do that. But I can't say specifically what happened on this occasion. But there are times when even at inaugurations like that, the host president will go to the hotel rooms.
Yeah, are we being petty? Because we do know that, when it comes to arrangement, some people will sit in front, some people will sit at the next row. And I've looked at the people who were on the front row there. I don't know them. It's possible that, maybe President Ramaphosa himself had preferences, etc. Do you think that we're being petty by, raising this issue that, our president was sitting on the front row, he didn't greet our president? Is that being petty?
Absolutely not. Everything that you do is a projection of your power or the weakness of it. You will never find an American president, even the American vice president in that setting, nobody will dare to put him anywhere except in the front. Clearly. And the Americans would have insisted ahead that this is what's going to happen. So we're being petty. This is our president. The president represents, is a collective representation of who we are and our essence. So you can't say that, look, I just want to be humble.
Not humility in international relations.
Your humility is not defined by your willingness to take that kind of treatment. And that's why I said that, look, it is a gathering of African leaders. Maybe at the United Nations where you have the whole world, maybe you can take second row, third row. But in a gathering of Africa, at a time when President Tinubu is the chairman of ECOWAS, what are we talking about? It's completely unacceptable.
If I don't go too far, look at the reaction of Nigerians. That just tells you, it speaks volumes.
Clearly.
They say, no, wait a minute. Are you not shaking? So that is an expectation already.
It is.
You can't fall short of that.
Absolutely.
Let alone you being there, you then need to make sure, look.
But interestingly, the reaction of Nigerians wasn't so much that the president was sitting on the second row. I mean, I came as an afterthought. It was the fact that it seemed like the president had ignored our president in the scheme of things, in the greetings. It was on second look and maybe a closer look and closer scrutiny that we now realize, the president is even sitting on the second row. But that initial, when I say is it miss, that the appearance, it seemed like as if the president did not greet our president. That's where it seemed like things were a bit off.
And that is why you will see that in many instances, the people who are the heads of the protocol team of the president, they are normally ambassadors or retired ambassadors, so that they themselves have the clout to put their feet down, because this is an ambassador. And the guy that we have there right now is also an ambassador. So I mean, he should also understand that he needs to put his foot down before the president departs, the country. That, look, what is going to happen? What is his situation? He has the experience. He's a very well qualified guy. But we need to project these things, and they need to tell the president that, look, I don't think that you should go for this event because I am not satisfied with the city arrangement. It's as simple as that. This is an inauguration. Yes, of course, the leaders are going to be there so they can have their chit chats and quite a number of things can be discussed within 2-3 minutes. This is the matter that we're trying to do with your country. So that opportunity is there. But hey, if you are going to disrespect my country, if you're not going to give me my place, which I have had, especially in South Africa, I could well say, I'll just send somebody else.
In spite of the president arriving in South Africa, that could also still happen?
That's what I'm saying, that it should, I mean, this thing should have been sorted before the president leaves. That's my point. Because, the president's already there.
So, I mean, if the president got there and, that was not the situation, maybe it's already been confirmed that it was a second place row that we were going to be sitting on. Can the president can his protocol officer not attend this inauguration?
Well, so the president has to make that call. Because it's already there, people know that he's there, he has interacted because normally before they go there, they normally have their meetings in the holding rooms, they have even, the US president must have written in, and everybody has already, so it's going to be a little bit difficult at that point, in my view, for the president to say, no. These things ought to be done before the president leaves Abuja or Lagos, wherever he is living. These things should be sorted out.
Well, Ambassador Tuga, we will still ask you that question. So I hope that angle is not the party is going to talk that he was already there.
Absolutely.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs. Because even if we didn't have any ambassador, Ambassador Tuga is someone who is welcome since he's been there.
Should we be seeing any consequences as a result of this?
Well, I think the kind of consequence that we should see is that this doesn't happen again. I don't think it rises to the point of, hairs rolling, but I think even if the president says nothing, look, Nigerians have already spoken and the voice is very loud and clear.
Yeah.
And this is
unacceptable,
especially in South Africa. Come on, we spent, for South Africa, and we're not saying it to bloat or to gloat, but this is just, you don't treat Nigeria that way.
Yeah, but even they, in their own arrangements, even if we don't recognize our own place, for them, the fact that, Nigeria was placed on the second row, does it begin to tell us where it is that South Africa holds us in their placement of things?
I have no doubt about that. Because look, these things are done deliberately. So this is not something that, it's just chance, put that person here. No. All these things are done deliberately. And I know the South Africans, they plan, So it was a deliberate, in my view, I'm going to say that, it was a deliberate thing that this is where Nigeria is going to sit. I don't think that they are using space in the front. With due respect, we are national TV. You go ask, who are the other leaders that are sitting in front? That Nigeria's president, in the matter of South Africa, shouldn't be sitting in the front. It's not impossible that they knew what they were doing. And it's not acceptable. And it's important that we make that point very clearly, that we cannot, and we wouldn't be accepting that kind of treatment. Even if you say it's an error, please, we don't want that kind of error again. And that's the kind of consequence that we want. We don't want this kind of things happening again. The foreign minister should get on it.
The point I'm trying to make is that, the fact that our own, reputation or the esteem in which a country like South Africa will hold Nigeria, looking at just how much of a role we played in the apartheid struggle, shouldn't it worry us that what exactly is happening here? Especially from the part of South Africa, if you're the host of a country and you're looking at countries who supported you, who've been there for you, and you decide that this is how you're going to place some countries, shouldn't we be asking questions?
Well, that there are also other underlying issues in our relationship with South Africa. There's the issue of the xenophobia. There's the issue of how they treat some of our people, and they say the way our people behave. So that is actually an issue that is still alive, that is being sorted out, I imagine, diplomatically between both nations. So the relationship is the kind that both parties are trying to manage very gingerly. Look at what happened to MTN, over what they were supposed to pay in taxes and all of that back and forth. A lot of people even still think that the South African businesses have a predominant place in this country, and it's not reflected in the way they treat that. So there are a lot of issues, a whole gamut of issues between us and South Africa, which is why this is more painful. That's why it's more painful.
Speaking about that, let me stretch it a bit about the businesses angle. Right. We know that in some other climes, it is corporations that government use to drive and push and position certain things.
Right.
So for us here, when our presidents, our leaders travel, do you see enough, or maybe give us an example while you were there too, do we take that very, very serious? Are we deliberate about it to position our corporations such that they take the pride of place, not just locally, globally?
Well, I know that there are efforts, that are being made. Clearly, like I said, we have very distinguished people in our foreign service, tested, and some of the best, even though there's quite a bit of mediocrity also. But I know that they make very diligent efforts, to straighten out all these matters. But of course, part of the challenge that we also have is that so when you talk about what happens in your country, the state of the nation, the local situation, the state of the nation domestically, for instance, issues of the kind of obstacles that people have to deal with when they come to do business here. When you have a situation where you saw somebody is coming to invest in your country and you're trying to convince your public servants that, look, you can't give these people the runaround. So somebody needs a registration from CAC, he needs a license from a standard organization, he needs some clearance here with the Port Authority, and I'm CAC, I'm saying that, okay, look, you have to go and get this from a standard organization, you have to go and get this from the state government, you have to go and get that, which normally ought not to be. And we are trying to say, which is what some of the things that the Vice President did in when we were there, 2015 to 2018, the ease of doing business. But there's a lot of resistance in the system for making these things easier. Why?
All right, I'm listening to these people, and all I'm hearing are people who are just lying to themselves and deceiving themselves. They don't want to go straight to the point. South Africa have sent you a message. The message they have sent to you is that you are nothing. I'm telling you. They're just very plain. Let's stop looking for scapegoats. Let's stop looking for who. First of all, the mere fact of thinking that in an African setting, the president of Nigeria should be kept on the back row is enough message for you to understand that you people are just nothing. Your wings have been clipped. If you're a giant, you don't have any tusk anymore. You don't have any of those things that have been taken out. So the best thing you can do for yourselves, I am saying it and I'm saying it equivocally, I don't care what you think, maybe I'm wrong, but he who lives in glass houses don't throw stones. Your reputation is over, is gone. Nigeria itself went into limbo even before Tinubu came in. And to make it worse, they bring a man who has that kind of reputation and make him the president. It's double jeopardy. It is double jeopardy. Nigeria on a limbo already. The wings are broken. They don't have good reputation anywhere in the world. Forget about xenophobia or whatever. Xenophobia in South Africa is happening everywhere. It's just that because in South Africa it looks like it's a great thing. They don't want you because of our reputation. Because they know you don't have a nation, you don't have a country, you don't have anybody who is protecting you. So they can do just whatever they like to you, and that's it. They can seize your property, they can burn down your embassy, and nobody will say anything. So going there to put him on the back for even thinking about putting, in fact, he was even lucky he has his role. If there was a third row, maybe he could have been on the third row. Because it's a deliberate, like the man said, it's a deliberate thing. They did it on purpose. It's not, they're just telling you, giving you a message, which you, the people, you, the broadcasters, you are refusing to understand that this is a message. How are we going to alleviate this? How are we going to make that this doesn't happen again? Because it's going to happen again in another country. Watch it. So the best way to avoid it is stay away from these people. Tinubu, sit down for Lagos, sit down for Abuja, just stay there, forget about what is happening on the outside world. Send somebody to go and represent you until you have been able to clean up, if you are able to do it, to clean up your country and give them a place already. They were saying, South Africa during the war, during the apartheid thing, Nigeria spent money. Of course you did. Nobody's saying you did not, but that was Nigeria, when Nigeria was a giant. But now the giants don't kaput. So it happens everywhere. They take your money because you want to help them, but by the time you need their help, if you were say what you were at that time, they will help you. But they don't look finished. This is just selling you a direct message that you have no reputation, you are nothing. And they have done it successfully. The message has been sent. No matter how much you try to clean it up, you're fooling yourself. The only way you can clean it up is what I have just told you. Tinubu, stop going around. Just stay for Nigeria, stay for Abuja, wherever you live, and clean up your reputation. Clean up the reputation of your country before you can want to step aside or step out to anywhere. Because what happened is going to keep happening. It is not a mistake. It is not a mistake. It's not an error. And don't look for victims. If you are going to punish because they're in the protocol, they are supposed to do this. Supposed to do what? Clean the reputation of Nigeria. This one, they are talking about it because he's the president. There are other worst things that they do to Nigerians. The other worst thing that they do to your reputation, of course it's true. You can't question those ones. But this one, your question is because it's in the eye of the camera. Everybody was seeing what happened. So it looks like it's a new thing. No, it is not. No, absolutely not. So take my poor advice. This is Radio Biafra USA too. Stop moving around Tinubu. Stay in Lagos. Stay in Abuja. Just stay there. Possibly send your wife to go and represent you. So nobody will even know. All they can say, this man sent his wife. You won't even know if he was on first row or second row or third row. No, it does not matter. So if you keep on going, they will keep on treating you this way. And it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. You'll be surprised that the time you get there to the airport, they will seize your plane and seize you inside the plane to tell the world the story. Because they know you have no reputation. No matter how much you try to clean up, it's not going to work. Biafra is the thing that we want. And Biafra we must get. If you cannot clean up the reputation of whatever is left in Nigeria until the activation of Biafra. When you say Biafra, welcome. You are the people that will. That's when your country will become something. Otherwise, you will keep on going down and down and down and down, and you will never stop going down. The lines are open, still open. I still have time to take calls at 845-907-2230. 845-648-0031, 845-637-6632. Don't forget, if you're calling outside the United States, you're going to say +1 before the 845. Somebody said yesterday that the WhatsApp lines are not working. I don't know what that means, but I didn't check, but I think I already received a call from on the WhatsApp, so I assume that it is working. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. Give us a call.
Don't pray, Victor. Biafra deje. No. Obia. Iyke. Freedom. Na udoka inario. Anya toni hepo for baramenu. Aye bunde Biafra bunde juzo naga. Obisi makelo mageju na jaga no. Oga de kwarai na ma. Ise. Omo Biafra jakene. Biafra na tako. Ibo madu no. Ibo madu na tako. Omo Biafra de. Biafra na tako. No. Ibo madu na tako. Eji megumekene tifuna tekano. Odogwo gadere mma, oyeze na odugoro mma. Okwande solo gili nenuwa, akologo gili lata. Okosisi bolo tolo, emese gono makwele. Okwanye manono dugo, odoro negbe mma. Okwogogo nyaru, anatuwa yonso. Ose kwense likoni, okejikwe nogonogo ngaji. Iyke kani kipu na London, Iyke kani kipu na Israel. Iyke kani kipu na Russia. Iyke kani kipu na India. Iyke kani kipu na Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu. Iyke kani kipu na Biafra. Nzobu. Enyimba. Nzobu. Enyimba. Anyega zobu ndelo. Enyimba. Nzobu. Enyimba. Onya weleke sezanya no sisale my blood. Onya weleke chukunya no chukoki kopioma. Onya give God what belongs to Him, and give Caesar what belongs to Him. As we seek for peace and humanity, it's not at all for vanity. There are ways of people that's killing each other. I wonder why my brother who go Biafra I'm forgetting the middle. I'm forgetting the middle. Oh, Zobu, fellow, let my people go. Let my people, let my people. Even when my daughters are gone, they don't love again and I can go. Even when my even when my daughters are gone. Oh, you then a lap with the name, Nudena. Mananya Puno, Nudenua. I want to know something. Make una hear me. People don't want Biafra, no. Make una come back home. Make una come back home. Can you go to Nobodani?
Can I welcome you to Biafra Universal Television this moment with a vital update as you listen. May God Almighty bless and be with you. Here we go. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release is set. It's now set that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. I want you to make your comment constructively. I want you to say it the way you want it to be, because decisive action is going to be taken against those who are hindering the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the DSS custody. It has been made open and clear and clearly understood today, few hours ago. It was arranged that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be out from the DSS custodies. But Igbo politicians, Igbo governors, both ex-Igbo politicians and current Igbo politicians, are now reading their own law that is not in accordance with the Nigerian constitution. You see what I'm saying? So, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserve not to be released. Why should Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be released? That this is what the constitution of Igbo government, Igbo politicians say. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu violated the law of Igbo land. And because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many people were killed. Many people are still dying. So that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserve not to be released. My people, you may feel like I'm joking or a concocted story. I'm giving you the news. No. I want you to go and find out, check out what Igbo politicians are up to and what they are doing to Igbo Biafrans and Biafran youth in this contraction called Nigeria.
All right. With that, I'm not gonna stay on that program. Somebody just sent it to me and wants me, but I have not had the time to sit down and listen to it very well. I just give you a preamble of what might come up tomorrow, because I might use it tomorrow. I'll have time to listen and listen attentively, because these people they bring up stories, and right in their eyes, when you look at their eyes, you discover that they are not even telling the simple truth. They are lying. So I'm not going to be part of spreading such false rumors. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're on that oath to speak the truth at all times. And anybody who thinks you can come up with something that will that's something that you have no proof on, it's not gonna ride with us. This is Radio Biafra, and the way it looks, I'm gonna have to check out the WhatsApp, as I was warned yesterday. Somebody advised me yesterday to check the WhatsApp that is not working. I had to make a direct call. All that I will take care of as soon as I leave this desk. But I want you to know that Mazi Alozie is coming in next, USA 1. He's going to be on the podium next. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Stay very, very much tuned, because, like I said before, for those of you who were anxious to listen to the Australian IPOB today, unfortunately, felt a little bit disappointed, but it's not bad. It's not bad. The technical issues do occur on these radios, and we know that's why they didn't come up. So tomorrow we'll talk about these tips that I just received and be more prepared for the program, for you to be able to. Then I'll check the lines, like I said, I promised you, and make sure that the WhatsApp line stays working. I don't really know why it is not working, to be honest with you. I have no good reason to believe that it's not working. But I didn't check it yesterday. I was warned. One of our brothers called in yesterday to tell me that the WhatsApp lines are not working. But I completely forgot about it. I didn't check it, because these cell phones are not used unless when I'm doing the broadcast. So there's no way I'm going to know if it's ringing or not. All right, from here, from me, I will have to say, stay tuned and to remind you that Biafra is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. Stay tuned, don't go away, for Mazi Alozie is next. From here, from me, it's goodbye.
Lies our religion, the last hope we have is in Biafran restoration. I believe. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship. As a Chukukike Adiyamra, let's your kingdom come. Listen to Radio Biafra. It's where we worship. As a Chukukike Adiyamra, it's your kingdom come. Love save our nation from the evil Britain. Then we will sing and dance for the world to know you are our God. I believe. Listen.
who are not supporting Jonathan, they even refuse to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir? No, I like this. It is there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagreed. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba, close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were saying it, we read it and we had them saying it. Yes. So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But at least they still know that we are significant politically, and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yorubas, they were sliced out of the whole system. So or not so. That was how Tinubu and the issue of Boko Haram, if we have to talk about Boko Haram, it's not from the south now. I am coming now. Let me forget about Boko Haram now. We brought about the Yoruba politics. Now, Tinubu and the Yorubas generally carried what happened to them and went to Kaduna and met them in Kaduna and begged them that we have to put our head together. Look, sir, let me tell you the truth and find out. At a point, the Yoruba, being humiliated under Jonathan, were even considering to cut off and put their Oduduwa Republic. But they realized if they do that, the Igbos were completely in charge of finance, civil service, security, and everything. If they dare do that, now East and the North are enjoying exactly. I'm coming now. The Yorubas now. It didn't benefit at all. I'm coming, yes. The Yoruba at a point, the Yoruba intelligence at a point realized that if they cut off, the Igbos will finish them. If they stay as it is and Igbo continue ruling, they will be completely finished. Before Jonathan, significant part of the economy, who are the accountants are Yorubas, who are the judiciary and lawyers are Yorubas, who are the civil service are Yorubas. Today you can't find any one of them. So or not so. So that's why the Yorubas say, even if we want to leave this country, we must get this power out of the hand of the Igbos and reposition ourselves. Jonathan, the Northerners really benefited from that Jonathan too much, Alozie. Hey, we have the calculations of the government. We agree. What can he do? He must now. He must. He wouldn't do to us that. He must. He knows that we can do it. He must deal with us. So that was why the Yoruba said no. Whatever it is. So, but what I assure you, let's keep on praying for President Buhari. Oga, we have learned our lesson. We have been in our area here now. They be praying for him. We have learned our lesson. We pray for the prophet because and even our daughters. No, to tell you the truth, the northern people, notwithstanding the presidency, honestly, the trust at least of the southeast is finished. And I assure you too, in Yoruba land, listen to me. I am coming. It really helped Northerners in 1979. I am coming, please. They helped Shagari. Listen to me. Not that they help themselves, gentlemen, please. We don't need anybody in this country. They help themselves. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question. Between cars, industries, and human beings, who are more in number? And the Northerners now. Not number. I'm not talking of population. I'm talking of economy now. I'm talking of cars, the motors that we drive. Yes. And industries that we have. Yes. If you put them on one part and you put human being on the other part, who are more in number? Cars are more. Cars are more than human beings? Human being. Good. Two, if you put fuel and food by the side, which one is consumed more? In food now. Good. And we have food. So Igbos are actually helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to you for this. Yes. What Oba of Lagos said that we are pushing them to the ocean. Most of these markets that are banning in Lagos, look at it, they are Igbo-dominated markets. You get me? In fact, some Yorubas were telling me when I was in Lagos last weekend that it is we, the Northerners, when we are in charge of Lagos as federal capital, that open room for Igbos to come and dominate them. And it's over now. And it's over. All the businesses Igbos are doing, we are going to bring it and do it. You get me? Fashola for the past 5 years have refused to approve any industry, especially pharmaceutical, to Igbo people. Find out.
You are right. You are right.
Do you get me?
Right.
So the Yorubas in these 4 years, that's what we are telling ourselves. If we in the North want to be useless again, let us be. But the Yoruba people in the 4 years, they want to control their land completely. That's why Buhari have to sign that Lagos is going to be given special status. We are going to have a kind of semi-regional system. Lagos is going to have special status. It means nobody again will control Lagos. The indigenes of Lagos are the ones that are going to control Lagos. They can form land policies. Do you get me? They may decide to say, you as a Yoruba man in Lagos, you will pay 5,000 naira per annum for a land. As me as a Hausa man, I will pay 10,000 naira. Igbo man will pay 1 million naira. This is why they are heading for. Do you get me? So now, unfortunately, again, the attitude of the Igbos have made the illiterate Northerners who have not gone to school to realize now, I say they are powerful. They are the one who gave these people land to stay. They are the one who give them food by the power of God. Yes. They are the one who accommodated them by the power of God. Do you get me? Yes. Since Igbos can turn around and humiliate us, look at what they did to us. Those people that they assemble about 400 of them and call them Boko Haram. Do you understand? Do you know that they picked them one by one? They were not moving in convoy. They made some of them to drink their urine. One also have to come and meet the president and tell him that, look, if one person is still among these people, I'm telling you, no Igbo man will come out of Kano. That was how they released the Hausa people from Jigawa and Kano, whom they selected and arrested and called them Boko Haram. Two, you are in Nigeria, I'm in Nigeria. Rochas was actually brought up in the north. But it is in his own state. That's why we are telling you, even the Amechi, the Rochas of Colorado that are MP, we don't trust them. They are on their own. Let me tell you this. They are on their own. Nobody can deceive us again. We are wise now.
Businessmen now. They are businessmen.
No, what I'm telling you is that Rochas was in, he is running to Sultan. He didn't know Sultan has no significance in this government. Even last 2 days he was in Sokoto. He didn't know that even Sultan has no significance in this government. He was in this north. It was Rochas state, Imo state, that they started saying that Hausa people must have ID card to live in that state.
Yes.
Can you hear me? They say Hausa people must have ID card to live in state. Yes. Until when we mobilize our people here and say, okay, in that case, all Southerners must live north. Then Jonathan now realized that there was something going on. You say, no, these things have to stop. So are we mad? You get me? Count every 5 shops in this north. 4 shops are owned by Igbos. What is Igbo's contribution in the economy? It's not trade, and fraudulent trade for that matter, including Igbo have cheated you, unless you are not buying spare parts and tires and medicine. So or not so?
It's so Alozie.
Do you get me? Yet we accommodated them. Is it going to Dubai to bring fake drugs that we cannot do it? Now the plan is drugs now. No Igbo man will again sell drugs in this north. We are going to bring it from Kano. Drugs are brought by air. They are going to open massive coolers, rooms in Kano and import it all north, and maybe whatever I want to buy, come and buy from Kano. Because Igbo will sell drugs again. We are tired of all this nonsense. We know how to control our places the way they control their own. What we are saying is that we are all Nigerians, but we are going to learn what they are doing in Southeast and do it in the north too. Simple. We don't have ancestors, but if Buhari today, as president of this country, want to buy land in the east, he will go and negotiate everything. Tomorrow the chiefs will come and tell him that ancestors made them yesterday night and said they should not sell the land for them. Then we now, ancestors have told us that we have been careless. That's why we suffered for the past 6 years. We have to wake up now.
No,
it's a very serious thing. No. We cannot, sir. The society is already adulterated. That's why, to be honest to you, let me tell you, to be honest to you, we never wanted Buhari in this law. We wanted Bukonkoso.
Yes.
We want, that's what I'm saying. If it is Konkoso, the primary, Konkoso will have defeated Buhari. Listen to me. Hey, you know the Tinubus and Co prefer Buhari because they can. Tinubu now is really cried. Can you hear me? Because Konkoso will have solved this north-south problem for us within 6 months. In Kano, Konkoso gathered all the Igbos and told them that all these drugs that he closed all those fake drugs they are selling in Kano. They know him now. So that's why we wanted Konkoso to be the Igbos made in Abuja, and one was after the election that they were the ones in charge of 75% of Abuja is their own. They should be given minister of. Can you imagine? Negotiate say this is the governor they want with their rulers everything. Igbo say no, he cannot be governor. Haba. In somebody's land. Habakule. The arrogance is too much. So 10 years ago I warned it. I said the Igbos are building nation within our nation. They will engage us within our nation and reinforce from their nation. That is exactly what we saw during the tenure of Jonathan. Immediately we voted Jonathan. What we did to Jonathan in this north, Igbos in the north, their chiefs, gathered and came to Aso Villa. To the glare of everybody on TV, they say it was nobody that voted Jonathan, but the Igbos were the ones who voted him. Did you not hear that one? Did you not read it? In our own land, Igbos say we didn't vote Jonathan. It was they that voted Jonathan. 2, before elections again, they gathered themselves and came and met Jonathan, and met in Abuja and said that they are directing all Igbos in the north must vote Jonathan. We don't mind. Let them vote anybody. But can you do that in the southeast? They stop us from even voting. Let me answer this. Amina wa alaikum salam.
Alozie. We call in the night. Thank you.
Can you hear me? In the southeast, all houses in the southeast were prevented from voting. Find out. Yes, find out. But yet in our own land, they will stand and say that. It is their problem that forced above Lagos to say that if they try to frustrate the decision of the Yorubas, they will send them to ocean. And I'm telling you, after 4 years, at least not we are liberal, but in the southwest, after 4 years, Igbos can never be useful and relevant again in the southeast. Wait and see. In fact, the plan of APC is that they are going to make alliance of northwest economic development. The west has the ocean. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The north has agricultural produce.
Yes.
So what they are going to do, the government is going to develop all the agricultural and mineral resources in the north. And then they will put primary industries here. And then go and export, finally finish them in Lagos or Southwest and export them and bring back the money and share it between the two regions. Let them bring their oil. This is the plan on ground.
Let's just pray for success of General Barry. For that, the success is our success. For that, we can benefit better. It's true. That's our prayer now. That's our prayer here. Everybody is praying for his success for that. If he's successful, everybody is successful. God help us. No, but not to the extent of living the way we are. Our prayer now is that may God remove the influence of the southeast in our region. That's all what we are praying. Better right now. I'm telling you. No.
The Boko Haram, these people are catch red-handed with bombs. Who are supplying the weapons? Who killed General Shua? They think we don't know. They were saying that they were revenging what they did to them in Biafra. Biafra was a war. It was a state war, trying to bring them back to the nation. Not so. Do you get me? Some useless videos started Boko Haram, but there was hand. Don't worry, investigation will reveal everything now. Don't worry. We were just exercising patience, looking at what is happening. That is typical Boko Haram. That's how we are. Just look at what is happening. But we drew a line. 2014, 2015 they call it. It is the end of it. Whether anybody wins or them win is okay. That was our decision, honestly. And they met in Enugu and listen to me. They met and saw it that in the event of cutting it, why will they put their people? That's why the man has to surrender now. Let him. In fact, some of us preferred him to have been resistant, so that we redefine this country. I'm telling you.
A lot of casualty is killing.
Nothing like killing. Let everybody go his way. Is it not rain that is falling in us now? We have the food. What is oil? Look at Niger. That Rano is still selling oil. He's bringing it from Niger. What is the big deal? It is when they met and saw the danger of any attempt, that was how they surrendered. But honestly, we have already made up our mind. Because we said to ourselves, even if you stay, they are going to kill you. Abi? Under Jonathan, from Namadi Sambo down to the lowest person in the north is a Boko Haram. They can pick you whoever you are. We know that. At least we are part of the system. Thank you, Kule. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kule. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I accept your congratulations, even though I'm PDP. Because I remember one time when the fighting in Borno, when our people were being killed left and right. Then what is Alozie? I said, do you remember one time when our people were being killed in Borno State, left and right, Bauchi, Gombe, everywhere in the north?
Of course.
I remember you were saying that was there any Southerner among us? We were the one killing ourselves. I always remember this statement, Mr. Kule. But look at this today now. Today our brother is in charge, and I'm sure he made it clear to the world. The first thing he said was that he was moving the command of Nigerian army to Maiduguri until when Boko Haram is over. So if not your brother as the president, who will do it for you? But we could have done it to anybody in Nigeria. But you can see that some people refuse to do it for us. So really, today I understand why we have to have the presidency, honestly. It's not like no, it's like that, Kule. Kule is like that. Because how can anybody convince us that some miscreants cannot be dealt with by Nigerian army? Why can't we believe it was deliberately left? Even if there is no involvement of government hand in it, why can't we believe that it was deliberate? Let them kill themselves. Well, it has come out even very clear, because it was at a point in our campaign, they were saying that by the killings of Boko Haram, there will be no population again. In fact, let me tell you why the North insisted that Jonathan has to go, because we had the plan that if Jonathan continues, the same problem will happen in Kano, the same problem will happen in Sokoto, the same problem will happen in Jos and Ebro until when our population is depleted. No. We have had a wonderful experience, honestly.
In order to avoid the problem, that's what I said before.
So whether he accepted or not, the nose it was clear voting now. What could he have done?
Remember what Babangida did for us.
Babangida, you see, what happened was, even when Babangida did it, you understand? Do you get me? The bulk of the population that voted was from the north. And Rimi said it. Since Babangida was in Abuja, Governor Rimi of Kano State, then, former governor of Kano State, he said, if you are in Abiola in Lagos, Abiola Babangida will have said it is Yoruba that did it. So Abiola should fly to Kano, they will swear him as president, and they will stand their ground. Before we know, they rallied around Abiola, they said, don't go to North, if you go, they will kill you. What is what happened? Do you understand? No. So I'm coming now. So Babangida got the...
Babangida has interceded him for many years.
I'm coming now. I'm coming. Before we are talking about the cancellation now, the cancellation of the elections. And two, didn't you not see that even from the West, there were people who supported there are big men who joined in the cancellation of the elections. But whatever it is, at that time, it was nobody was killing the Yorubas left and right. Babangida was virtually betraying everybody. And today, have you not seen him on TV? Have you not seen how he was looking? Is God not wonderful? Did you not see Babangida? Even though I have promised as from today, so long as he's my brother from the north, even if he's eating everybody in Nigeria fresh, you come out with Nigerian man leg eating, I will not say it's bad again. Because I have learned how to support my people from what I have seen with Igbos and some people in Nigeria with Jonathan.
But you must thank God for Yoruba. Yoruba supported by you, otherwise we don't have come.
No, I'm coming, please. I'm coming. Let me tell you one thing. I'm coming. Listen to me, Kule. A section of Yoruba supported Buhari. Listen to me, please. Let us make this clear. You understand? We are all politicians.
Yes.
The Tinebus, since 1960s, since the Oyibo left the country, Yoruba was told one word. We are first Yorubas. You are first Yoruba before you are a Muslim, you are a Christian or Nigerian.
Yes.
So or not so?
Yeah, you are right.
Abi? Okay.
Yes, you are right.
Now, all along, a Yoruba man, whoever he is, whether Muslim or Christian, preferred anybody in the south to rule him than a Hausa man from the north. That's the truth about it. So, fortunately, I'm coming, sir. Let me land. Fortunately, the center is controlled by non-Muslim, non-Northerners. Are you getting me? And Jonathan, fortunately for the North, Jonathan decided to use religion and slash the Yorubas to the extent, for the first time, Yorubas were divided religiously. To the extent Muslims Yorubas stood their ground and said they were not supporting Jonathan. They even refused to attend the meetings of the Jonathan. The papers are there, their statements are there in the papers. So or not so, sir?
No, I like this.
It is there. That's the truth. It's there. Even when he went, there were some few Muslim leaders who met Jonathan. The Supreme Council of Islam of Western Nigeria or Yoruba land came out clearly and said no, they disagreed. Do you get me? We know the population of Yoruba close to 80%, or let's say close to 60% are Muslim. This man constituted a national conference. This is the Yorubas that were saying it. We read it and we had them saying it.
Yes.
So that succeeded in dividing the Yoruba themselves. Now, two, the humiliation, whatever they did to us, our own was that let them kill us and reduce our population. But at least they still know that we are significant politically and they allowed us to maintain some position. But in the case of Yorubas, they were sliced out of the whole system. So or not so. That was how Tinubu and
the issue of Boko Haram, if we have to talk about Boko Haram, it's not from the south now.
I am coming now. Let me forget about Boko Haram now. We brought about the Yoruba politics. Now, Tinubu and the Yorubas generally carried what happened to them and went to Kaduna and met them in Kaduna and begged them that we have to put our head together. Look, sir, let me tell you the truth and find out. At a point, the Yoruba, being humiliated under Jonathan, were even considering to cut off and put their Oduduwa Republic. But they realized if they do that, the Igbos were completely in charge of finance, civil service, security, and everything. If they dare do that,
now East and the North, they are enjoying good.
Exactly. I'm coming now. The Yoruba
It didn't benefit at all.
I'm coming, yes. The Yoruba, at a point, the Yoruba intelligence at a point realized that if they cut off, the Igbos will finish them. If they stay as it is and Igbo continue ruling, they will be completely finished. Before Jonathan, significant part of the economy, who are the accountants are Yorubas, who are the judiciary and lawyers are Yorubas, who are the civil service are Yorubas. Today you can't find any one of them. So or not so. So that's why the Yorubas say, even if we want to leave this country, we must get this power out of the hand of the Igbos and reposition ourselves.
Jonathan, the Northerners really benefited from that Jonathan too much, Alozie.
Hey,
we have the calculations of the government.
We agree. What can he do? He must now. He must. He wouldn't do to us that. He must. He knows that we can do it. He must deal with us. So that was why the Yoruba said no. Whatever it is. So, but what I assure you,
let's keep on praying for President Buhari.
Oga, we have learned our lesson.
We have been in our area here now. They be praying for him.
We have learned our lesson.
We pray for the prophet because and even our success.
No, to tell you the truth, the northern people, notwithstanding the presidency, honestly, the trust at least of the southeast is finished. And I assure you too, in Yoruba land, listen to me, I am coming.
This really helped Northerners in 1979.
I am coming, please.
They helped Shagari.
Listen to me, not that they help themselves, gentlemen, please. We don't need anybody in this country. They help themselves. Let me ask you a question, sir. Let me ask you a question. Between cars, industries, and human beings, who are more in number?
And the Northerners now.
Not number. I'm not talking of population. I'm talking of economy now. I'm talking of cars, the motors that we drive.
Yes.
And industries that we have. if you put them on one part and you put human being on the other part, who are more in number?
Cars are more.
Cars are more than human beings?
Human being.
Good. 2, if you put fuel and food by the side, which one is consumed more?
In food now.
Good. And we have food. So Igbos are actually helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to Igbo this time. What Oba of Lagos said that we are pushing them to the ocean. Most of them helping themselves. Let me tell you, even in Yoruba land, let me tell you what they will do to Igbo this time. What Oba of Lagos said that we are pushing them to the ocean. Most of
consumers. What happened to the original seedlings? They want to do away with it. Now they will control what you eat. We'll get back to this guy. They'll control what you eat in the near future. Now they want that your land. They want that land. How do they want that land? They want it through the Fulanis. They have gotten it to you. I blame the senators, the lawmakers. They are far away. They are far away from reality. That is why everything in Nigeria is backwards. When you have engineers adulterating food, you still have good ones that say we will tell the world what these engineers are doing. It is up to you to accept it and mend your ways. Let's continue. Because the headline is the agenda being made to kill off all black people. But why are they using Nigeria? This is issue I am taking up with Nigerian government. Why are this Nigerian government so intoxicated with the foreign white people? Why? And the infection extends to the political groups, the senators and the House of Reps, and the legal arm of the government. Why is Nigeria the center of this agenda? Something other African countries are not accepting. Nigeria be willing to even put it in motion, and they are running from schools to schools, vaccinating people.
From a nervous system breakdown and so on. This RNA interference technology is a pesticide technology, but it doesn't rely on pesticide chemicals. It relies on RNA fragments in the food. Now, what's disturbing about this is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race of humans who eat the food. I want you to follow me very carefully on this because most people have never heard of this before. They've never heard of this technology. They don't know it can be targeted by race. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone. That technology is a reality. It's widely covered out there in the mainstream media, in the science media. RNA interference technology widely covered. And they openly talk about how it can be used to target specific physiological processes of certain insect species. They can interfere with DNA repair or protein synthesis in insects. They can interfere with fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with mobility, a nervous system interaction with the musculoskeletal system, or depending on what animal we're talking about, other systems, endoskeletal systems. I ask you, does that technology exist? The answer is yes. It absolutely exists right now. Are they using that technology? I ask you, do a little bit of research, look at the plummeting sperm production in black men. Sperm production is plummeting in black men. Sperm production is precisely the kind of physiological process that can be targeted by RNA interference technology. Now, is that proof that the food crops are being engineered to cause sperm production to plummet in black men? No, it's not proof. But when you connect the dots of all the other things that are being done covertly, this becomes something very likely in the realm of possibility. It would take a lot of advanced testing to find this out. And guess who controls the funding? Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. The same government that allows the CDC to cover up the truth about vaccines and black children. The same government that funds Planned Parenthood abortions of black babies.
Now, do you see why they are vaccinating your children in schools, especially Biafra land? There is no smoke without fire. Do you see the agenda? Ndibo, you are up for extermination. But the most annoying thing is that you are in a position to say no, because we have the brains that can counter this. They don't want those brains to exist. That was why yesterday I played you the audio of the doctor that raised an alarm. Despite the fact that the doctor raised an alarm, is the Nigerian government stopping it? No. They are hell bent on putting through the program of Bill Gates. And Nigeria is a testing ground where Nigerians are used as guinea pigs. But due to their differences, they can never unite and say we've seen enough. They are still talking to you about our beloved Nigeria. Oh, our beloved Nigeria. And you cannot say no to danger. And all of a sudden, women are running helter-skelter. So we don't have enough men to satisfy us. How are they going to? When you are cooking poison and feeding them unknowingly, you're running to the young men. Now the young men are suffering the same problem. Now you are reverting to the old men, because the youths you think are going to do the job all of a sudden are losing interest. Nobody is looking into it. They have closed in. And genetic engineering is found wide, very progressive. I have been married to this man. I can't have child. Why? See the number of childless couples is on the increase. Did you find the cause? And this person is telling you what is going on.
The same government that covers up the EPA-induced contamination of waterways affecting Native Americans and other populations, including the Flint, Michigan, predominantly black population. This government, same government that runs the FBI that wanted Martin Luther King Jr. to commit suicide. It's the same government. The government is at war with you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you, and they want you to exterminate it, and they control the science funding, which means there will never be money for any genetic science of the food supply to uncover this truth. If it were there, it would be covered up like everything else has been covered up this entire time. Just like the Tuskegee experiments covered things up in the 1930s. Nothing has changed, except the technology is more advanced. The covert tech.
Do you remember about the Tuskegee? Did you remember? Syphilis. We are cultivated. Syphilis. Cultivated in black men. Most of them died. Syphilis. It's enough. Well, you just come and talk to the senators, talk to the politicians. The agenda will go through. We are in danger. Why are we wasting so much time on this? I cannot call it waste of time. I can only tell you it is worth discussing. It's a big issue. It's a very big issue. Tomorrow we'll continue with it. Tomorrow will be now waiting to happen. As I speak to you, I'm still shocked. I'm still in shock from what Harold Wilson said. If a country like Britain can adopt such a policy in the 60s, prior to the 60s, now I mentioned 60s when you think you know, when you think the British is somewhat your godfather, and with your religious affiliation, a human being, a prime minister of a country that said that they are your colonial masters, you are a member of their commonwealth, will groom an opposite religion to massacre you and come to tell you, I don't give a damn about you. They're not Biafra. And Wilson will stand and tell you, the Biafra nation cannot be allowed to be. The Biafra nation cannot be allowed to be. Who are the Biafra nation? Easterners. They will not allow you to be. What's their reason? We do not trust what they will become. We do not trust what they will become with their vast resources. So they have a lot. They have a lot of resources. If you let them be, you have the Russians and you have the French around them. They are going to be powerful. We are going to lose. So I don't care how many we kill. Harold Wilson and the British government killed over 5 million Biafrans through genocide and starvation. through the help of Russia. What did they give Russia? Oh, Russia will give you the task of supplying the warplanes. We are in this together. And then we'll bring Egyptian pilots to be doing the bombing. You bomb the market, you bomb the schools, you bomb the churches. And then you pretend like France, you pretend like you're friendly with the Biafra, just pass us the information. Why? They want your resources. Now you see why the Fulanis are doing what they're doing. If other countries, if other Western nations happen to get hold of the resources from Biafra land, you never know what will become of them. Harold Wilson is a human being. Evil-minded. The attractiveness you have contoured in your mind that has warranted you to change your pigmentation. You're damn black and you're applying bleach. It's another symptom of inferiority complex. That inferiority complex transcended to our inability to say no. We cannot say no. It's whatever they say we accept. They bring poison, we accept. But you cannot drink from the same cup with your brother. Somebody you know that that earmarked you or marked you up for extermination will bring vaccination and you administer to your children, generation to come. The damage is being done. But the vast population that are supposed to checkmate it are not doing what they are supposed to do. That is why, my brothers, my sisters, whatever my affiliation with you, we must wake up. I will open the phone line +1 484 767 0848 +1 484 767 0848. We will continue with this topic tomorrow when we do now waiting to happen. Mazi Lekima might be there, and then Ndoka will be with us too. This is why they are holding Mazi Namdekan. Suffocate him. Make him uncomfortable. As you hold him, we do our dirty job. The thing is that Mazi Namdekan is a peaceful individual. When you run into people that are not peaceful, then you understand. Mazi Ndewo. Your line disconnected. I will wait for you for it to reconnect. We need update. Part of this audio we will play tomorrow, and other additional audios will be played tomorrow. I want our people to understand what we are going through. Mazi, go ahead. Go ahead.
Good afternoon from Poland here.
Welcome. Go ahead before the line drops.
Okay, this is Mazi okay, for news. So of course, I hear from Omak is in all the province of Biafra land. Every other protocol is really observed because of the situation of the line. Mazi, I have our reporter from Olo who made that voice message. We went to put it online to tell us what is actually happening in Olo today. Mazi from Biafra land, don't mention your name, please. Whatever is there. I don't hear name already. I don't hear name in State, even the whole of Biafra land. There were. Mazi, there were. Yeah, in Tieko Bru, you can't man what your name because we are talking to the whole world, no? In our by in our squad, no? There we are on to the Biafra. Yeah, Mazi, today, I never know today. When we take call. I want to call that now some of the embargo patrolling with some head people from school to school. I'm from school to school. Them and they are about the 3 siennas with the combined team, police, army and embargo. Hana got from people, not force people, not force the children, now to inject them. You know, we don't know the meaning of those vaccines, we don't know, we haven't had the kind of vaccine, Hana force her because I believe that, and I will not know we good vaccine. How can I go with security men? So, because of all those things, everywhere, now school, many people now was also. And I force people now, even here in Normal, and don't wear some part of it, you know. So all those things, we had to make them. Okay, today what? Okay, show a lot of that checkpoint. I was stopped by those army military people. Along the line, they start searching us. Even those people, even people that are walking with legs, I stop one, I touch her. Now, such on your life, everything. Let's get with him with Rasage, Chorai, or Tina Chara, you go. You get with you go, delay with your bar. You know? So, okay, yesterday. Now, this those people, a bag of people, but yesterday, some boys with the phone, Naka, because of how you feel, did you big phone, Naka? How stop all those boys? Start beating them, Naka, anyhow. How am I going DPO, on your mark? The DPO, not the Josso. Please, we take the way, she now come much and you neutralize her. If you do not shout, so why? Stop that. I did answer. If you now call your commander, telling the commander to all those go to his boys in order. You know, many things are happening in this world. You cannot talk, you cannot walk freely, just like that. But our problem now, this party now, which is the security, is gonna about to the home kind of school. That's the problem we are having now. Yeah, Mazi, I want to ask you something. These schools are primary or secondary or both or all of the above? No, primary. No primary schools. Primary school. Even private. Yeah, some of the privates. Some of the privates in Olo? Yes. Okay, yes. This brought our concern because we're always telling our people that the army checking point in Nunkwere and that one in Olo local government, the atrocities in Imo State. Anyway, we join Kiri Hancha Nanaka, Onenato, about that proposal because he brought them. And then the federal government have abandoned the bag. But the bag is working in Imo. Kana control even though the so-called police them always a back na control law.
And I where people on a house no where our people politicians no so bother. Baga be say about one because getting I thank you for the DPO from my town. Oh my God. We will learn how to seek you all. I am not I went back on a boss out to but on what you under bag up. I can't do one something. Nda we bag how can they see who can happen who are they wearing mask or the hammer like
Mazi, many of them wear mask. Many of them
yeah, those ones need mask. I would do Biafra. All of them imported. Let me handle. Continue. Let Mazi conclude the way you can go. On the GC element on the Gamiola, but organizer and everything. I want the partner. Mazi, yeah, Mazi, if you have anything to ask more about you.
No, I don't. I don't have anything.
Because I call enough.
I don't have anything for them. Bag.
If another thing, I'm talking our people, killing our people, having our guys. You need to know, you need to know the Holy Must dead. No, and wherever the seven and the Holy Must dead. So bad.
Yeah, they were.
I got a quick one. I know, like, thank you, and never think I'm going to cry.
They were. The call number is +1 484 767 0848. +1 484 767 0848. These people are the ones causing these issues. Whatever it is, saying it counts. In anything they do, there will be victims. There will be victims. But it's rather we don't have victims. But for the slowness, our inability to do things on timely fashion causes us issues. But our people, there's nothing we cannot do. Get the list of all these people that are giving these vaccinations. Get the list of the departments that are responsible for these vaccinations. Get the list of the people that authorized this vaccination, because they will be questioned when we start getting the statistics as to the damage done to these children. Get the names of the children that got this vaccination. We start monitoring them. This thing will not end peacefully. The victims will be made to hold you accountable for the damage you have done to them. Whether you're working as a bubago or as a you will give an account as to what you've done to innocent children in the name of government. You are vaccinating them with cervical cancer. People that are not sexually matured. You cannot prevent cervical cancer, because what you are vaccinating them is not what it is. You have not cured other cancers. Is the cervical one that is more important to you. The direction you're going shows us that you have a very ugly agenda. Why? Because your policy is anti-Biafra, spearheaded by Britain and Harold Wilson. Let Harold Wilson call out your name and where you calling from.
Good evening, sir. I continue to press you for the good work you are doing. My name is Iyke and I'm calling from Ghana. I want to speak something a little bit. You see why those Yoruba people and Yoruba media and Fulani Hausa people, you see why they are holding us back? Because they want to kill us. So all these vaccine they are giving our people now, are they giving this vaccine to their people at Yoruba and the Hausa people there? All the illegal and this corrupt drugs and other things, they will bring it in our land to come and kill us. That's why they are holding us back. They don't want us to go. They can execute their plan and kill us finish, so they will take our land. That's why they are doing all these things. Because if we continue to be staying with people, they don't have any good plan for us. They don't have any single good plan for us. How can you even this GFO now they will not allow it in their place. They don't bring it in our land to come and give our people to eat and die. And that is the kind of Britain. The Britain is beyond all these things happening to us. They are the one capturing it. They want to all these things, all these stupid organized medicine and GMO. They are bringing. They want to come and bring it to our land and kill us, and we cannot accept. I can't accept them to kill us. To be killed. We are also a human being. We can't accept them. All of us. It's better we die together in that Biafra land. It's better we die in that Biafra land instead of them to killing us one by one like this. Getting our children, rubbish drugs inside body. We can't allow it. And this the Bible they are talking about, what is the work of we have in our land? Okay, this is what they have in our land now. Did they have a Bible? If they don't do that, what they are doing is like, did they have a Bible in Yoruba? Did they have a Bible in They know that they don't have any SARS. SARS is not functioning well again because they have destroyed SARS. So now they bring the Bible to come and use it to kill us. And these Bible people, we cannot accept to allow them to continue to be killing us. This Bible is not any security. It's a well-organized security to use it to kill Biafrans. And they are doing the work. They are doing the work perfectly. So we have to look for what we have to do and make sure that we destroy this bag in our land. Look at this, what Pusadema is doing in Imo State, to kill all Imo State, indígenas and bring Fulani to come and occupy the land. And we cannot be looking this for Pusadema because it has been too much. We have to find what we will do that man, and we have to look what we're supposed to do that man and make sure that that man is get out from that Imo State. If not, this thing will continue to be doing. So our land is not unsafe. Our land is not safe. Our land is not safe. Our land, every forces, every minute, everything is in our land. Doing what in our land. So they want to occupy our land and take our land and give and kill the indigenous of the evil people in that land and give it to them. And that is their plan. That's why they are bringing all these forces, bringing all this Ruzago and the other and bringing it in our land to come and kill people. And we cannot put our land like that. We cannot put our hand like that. If they think that we will put our hand, we can never put our land to allow them to kill us. Look at how Yoruba people, look at what they are doing. Look at what they are saying. And the Yoruba people are the Yoruba media are the number one problem we have. Right? That Yoruba people are the number one problem we have. Those people are supporting Labour. And these people that are supporting, I wish one day these people will turn against them. I pray that one day these people that are supporting, that these things that are doing our people in our place, and they are supporting it, covering it, and telling people all the lies. Anyway, people have known the truth. The world have known the truth. But these Yoruba people, I pray that all this plan they are praying against us, we will turn against them, so they will see how we look like. Because you cannot continue to be folding our hand like this and be looking good to go to be destroying our land, killing our people. After killing our people, then they will not take our land and get flying. That is what they are planning. And why they put this stupid man who put on the mother place is to come and suggest the agenda. The man is doing it. I don't think that man is Igbo. That man is not a Biafra. That man is, I was thinking that man is a Fulani. That one is. That one is the agenda. The man is doing it. I don't think that man is Igbo. That man is not a Biafra. That man is, I was thinking that man is a Fulani. That one is a.
(767) 0848. This is live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA. Our people, we must be focused. Focusing is very important. When you focus, that means you have trained yourself, you have trained your brain, you have trained your eyes, you have trained your ears, you have sharpened your mouth. These things work together. Even the nose, sensory organs. Guide you as to how to focus. With your eyes you see, sends message to your brain. This is what I'm seeing. With your ears you hear, and that corresponds with what your eyes are seeing. The brain, being the computer, documents, interprets, and store the information. Where it requires smelling, your nose confirms, yes, that odor is that of a dead person, which the ear heard when the crime was being committed, and which the eyes saw. Then you use your mouth to interpret, to voice out what you've seen. And that's why these are the things that make you focus. What you said, what you smelled, what you heard, what you saw will make you determine, which way do I go? How do I go about doing it? Am I going to relieve this ugly situation? Or am I going to find an alternative way to make my life better, to make things better for our people? We have two sides. The Fulani is descending on on our community, killing, and our community playing the role of peacemakers, absorbing the killers. Who are the ones dying? We are the ones dying. Who are the ones doing the killings? The Fulanis are doing the killings. Can they also be capable to absorb the casualties we are observing? These casualties that we are observing, can the Fulanis be able to? Or are they using politics? Are they using their value system of damn every other person but me? They butcher you in front of your children. The value system. They don't ask themselves, why do I have to commit such an offense in the presence of children? Value. Your eyes saw it, your ears heard it, your nose smelled the rotten body, and your mouth did spread the message. Focus. What interpretation and what other action are you going to take to avoid being a victim? This is where your brain takes over. This is where your brain says, I will not allow this body to go through this. Therefore, we are going to find a way out. You find a remedy. It's okay for people to come and tell you this is what people are doing. Igbo people killing Igbo people. You're using Igbo to kill Igbo. And then we say hallelujah. Is it a threat? Is this an Igbo threat? This actually fell during the slave trade. Call her your name and where you call it from.
That Alozie. Okay, I went an Igbo. Makadada Alozie, if not to you, we take your time and your mind over years to save all of us. As IPOP member, Dada Alozie, every day, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. The end of it, Biafra consider them the candidate. They are independent of nation of our own, Biafra nation. We have put that in our kind of terrorists. Then come here, come and tell us maybe we they follow Nigeria, they go. Then occasions can afford 50 years. 20 years is here, 70 years. I understand fellow bye-bye. I got no one. My father, my mother have come and they have gone. I never knew they will leave you. To them, yeah, I have my own children. One day we lived. I continue to dead. Or that called honorable. My father, my dick, my tom. Biafra, who body can body, human body of Biafra nation. Biafra. Fulani, they're different. I would say they're different human being. Yoruba is different. Biafra, can't you see it?
They get their light where this wonderful God, we create this wonderful world. We put the iron sun for up. And now said that now the God where we be is I'm okay to cook. That is up and go. Lord, this leaders give this full an opportunity. The massacre house, the butcher house. Then as to quiet, we must move on. That I say that I say nothing I want, but I'm telling you that Alozie. My God, I will walk for him. I will not attack it. I got even. Oh, you saw what I got to the carnival and a portasai. Look at that, the Cabla. The dead, we look at the Biafra. That can't be a baby. Chinek. Oh, yeah, America will come and take our land. That is a banner. It was America. That is United Nations Peacekeeping Organization. I said POP in another here. That I didn't know POP peacekeeping. My comrade started to work. That is I copy. That is the Gakushili. The Gakushilaki. How can they not threaten us? The Nigerian Defense Academy, whole military. Military, all the military on this earth, both the military in China, military defense in America, military defense. You see Nigerian military. They make you people shame. The people were supposed to carry go protect their people. Say that and then they kill them. So military went there for America. Military defense went there for China. Military defense and military. God bring our leader hand and save this war. Because we war start for Nigeria, the whole world is going to end. Oh, no, no, Sam. That's the United Nations. You can't take all you wait there for my. That is not going to go there. Oh, you know, Alanam. Alanam belongs to September 50 to Fidigawa. Oh, that Alozie. That Alozie. Ango. Oh, you know, you watch it. Now, leave. That's September where? That is the look. My father, my bishop, my pastor. What about that? What I say was it? No, I say I time. You don't be a friend of Zone, and I join Aja. That is a call. Okay, she's kind of internet. So that feminine with every day from money to not. When you make go. When I go, I have proper to move away. I actually get a technology. Okay, she's coming up at the better of her. Biafra lesson. They would have said, why we will not so the Lord go Biafra. But the lesson, but the weekend, but all of them, but all of you will be Biafra. Want to the car. Oh, no, one day, this full an opportunity to be certain us. What about that? Because let's talk about that. The one thing. Oh, that no never want to miss Alawa. Give a like a tire. Look, then I talk on I don't know what you put. How about that? The decision I could tell. Better I can know. Then I talk about what the my leader captive. Who's a question? Like that, the first I can do the first away. That's the first I can tell the question to. Never said Nigeria. Nigeria, you have to take a question. Read my leader. Nonsense. Okay, better over. Iyke. See them. Give you the name of Taman Abiano. But catch what kind of side rock I copy. That is just what coca. Leave white the former that prepare. I would have been there. How would I call away with a calawa? I don't allow Yoruba. Yoruba Brother, back into the back after your bayut. I'll go.
The call number is +1 484 767 0848. We have our issues. Finish your own. Then you look into other people's. We are good. We are good people. But so we think. So we assume. Our people must learn being overkind. Being overkind does us no good. Let's see where we find ourselves. Let's see things that when we look at them, we say, well done. These are the kind of things that we must watch out for. Execute and then compliment yourself, or we execute and compliment ourselves for a job well done. These are the things that when we look at them, we take a stand. That you don't wait till the last minute. That's why I said, when we finish, we compliment ourselves. You don't leave your assignment to other people. You take up the assignment and you complete it. You will know that it's done. You will have more confidence in yourself because you're the one that executed that assignment. Sometimes you don't wait for it to come from other people. You take the bull by the horn. All these great people you hear, they were not waiting. The great people that you hear took up the task and said, we are the ones going to do it. I am the one that's going to do this. I can no longer wait. The more I wait, the more we perish. This is how great people are born. This is how great people are born. They come out, they look at the issue, and they say, no, I got this. I got it. They can equally say, well, let James do it. They can say, well, it's not my assignment. I don't want to die. And you see them capitulate because they feel that the job is not theirs. They feel that you are the one that should do it. At the end of the day, nothing is done. At the end of the day, nothing is done. Caller, your line dropped, so you might as well call back. Your line dropped. The call number is +1 484 767 0848.
+1 484 767 0848. Every time we always tense. Every time we are always tense. Then the next thing you know, you have high blood pressure as a result of stress. You have diabetes, you have this, you have that, as a result of this and that. There have come a time we must address the causes of these issues, the issues that are not good for us. Taking control of our destiny. Taking control of our future. These are assignments that people undertake. And don't wait for somebody else to do it. That's why they come and say, hey, I got it. I'll do it. See, great people. Great people. We will continue. We will continue. Do things that are very satisfying to us. And we feel confident when we accomplish this task. As we fight, as we inform our people, others are busy assembling in the desert. They are assembling in the desert, getting ready to come and attack you. Did we not see it? We saw it. Did we have any remedy? Of course. Did we apply it? Maybe, maybe not. This is when job is half done. The fun is funny. Caller, you've called 4 times and your line keeps dropping. Your line keeps dropping. And, check your network. Apart from what we are talking about, it's nice to play you this clip. So when we talk about insecurity, we look about other sources of insecurity, where it comes from. And that points finger towards the authorities.
LDLE, this one target illegal. This investigation will not be complete until officials, the people who are responsible for this particular transport of drugs. Because the people who are responsible for this particular transport of drugs are real top men in Abuja. Otherwise, how will they be using siren vehicles around Abuja to transport drugs? Because this will never be their first time or their second time. And then look at the old man you people are parading as the one in charge of these drugs. That man doesn't even look like someone who is even enjoying the proceeds or the dividends of drug trade. That man looks like an ordinary driver. My question is, who are the people in charge of this particular business that is using a siren vehicle to transport drugs around Abuja? And the way these drugs are packaged, we know that this is not a single man business. This is a strong conglomerate, a strong cartel in Abuja. But of course, NDLA may have known. The way these drugs are packaged, we know that this is not a single man business. This is a strong conglomerate, a strong cartel in Abuja. But of course, NDLA may have known, we know this is a strong conglomerate, a strong cartel in Abuja. But of course, NDLA may have known, we know Nana as it goes.
And usually, that's what you find out. Call her your name and where you calling from.
Once a month. You hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mazi, the one we are talking, and the Manhattan or Kai talk or Google talk. Mazi, this is happening today in Ladipo. You can see how they are destroying the whole Ladipo. It's on video, you can play it. And tomorrow, Yoruba cannot be trusted. These are people going through clear movement to convince Igbo people to come back and invest. And now they are destroying this morning. But I want you to play that clip. It's live. It's live. It's happening in Ladipo. Today, not tomorrow. Tata call them, eh? You learn the buy now, not to cool in Lagos. Let me hear it. And I'll be meet Igbo leaders. Try to encourage them to invest it. And that useless idiot. Say Kubana to preach or whatever he calls himself. That cannot stay in Igbo land because he got insecurity in Imo State. He the acted of the whole insecurity with Chinata and 180. And thank God, Chinata and 180 gang that still be picking up things 2 days ago now. I will come out with their full name very soon. Mazi, what do you come into Canada? Biafra and Gala free. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Whoever like, let him be your godfather. Not state permanent. Go put them, I cannot be there forever. Is that Kubana prince or whatever they call that idiot from whom walk out there? If you don't see what is happening in Ladipo, how they are destroying the police, the buildings, but the plane there, to what Hannah think I don't go, insecurity. And the Yorubas are cunning, very cunning people, very selfish idiots. And they want to encourage our people to come back and vote. Now they will destroy it. Look at what is happening now. Let the whole world hear it. It's in the ground, the whole world. And these are people you think you're going to get more corner. Mazi, on your line and that broke corner. I'm sorry for that person.
Let me see what you're talking about. Yeah.
This morning I put the government about the rule and accuracy. Chop on you. What's the man wow? Everyone also. I got the wow. What's you able to say now? So what?
That's something for tomorrow. I cannot analyze it today, so to hell with it. Obi Kubana can go and put his shop there. Maybe that's why they are demolishing it, so that he will find where to put his shop. So, what is enough for the wise? They wouldn't take it. If they like, let them chop off your ear. I will not cry for you. People, this is where we'll be ending today's program. Those things will be looked at tomorrow. We'll look at them tomorrow, see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen. It's our people to target. I just mentioned
the way they are